has faded away. My sunshine has faded away, baby. My skies are cloudy and the skies are cloudy and gray, baby. Stars is different for me.
Yo, Diddy about to be free. We won the case. Well, we won the major charges. And I just want to say to everybody, take that. Take that. You see me with the Diddy shades on, smoking a cigar for Diddy. Take that. Diddy won the case. But guys, I was thinking, and thank y'all for rocking with me today on this Wednesday. I was thinking, what's the ramifications of this verdict? What's the ramifications of these charges, this particular case? As you see in the title, I line it out for you. But I brought my guy with me because I got my guy with me, and I think my guy's going to give me a little bit more of a little bit more information, a deep dive into history. And y'all know him. He's my guy now. I stole him. My guy, Krusty Uncle. Now,
let me cam up.
Yeah, get yourself together. All right.
No. I mean, you can't hack. Look. I can't.
I had to get you back together.
Pretty motherfucker on here. I gotta show my pretty too.
They gotta take that. Hey, the defense rest. They gotta take that. So Rico, let me get. Let's start right into it, man. We ain't gonna waste time.
Yeah, because this is hot.
5 counts.
Yeah.
He was convicted on 2 of the 5 counts.
Yeah.
The more serious counts, 2 counts of trafficking, sex trafficking. Let's try to do this. We are not gonna cuss for the first.
I promise.
Let's get a good 5-10 minutes in there, and then we can let it go.
If you hear me, just say hey, and to remind me. I need little reminders, but I'm gonna try not to.
All right, we're gonna get the first 10 minutes, and then we go ham. So that the S trafficking, 2 counts of S trafficking and the RICO charge were found not guilty, which was kind of surprising to me because the jury came back kind of quickly. And the jury, remember, for everybody that don't understand the case, the jury was mostly women. I think 6 women out of sorry, it was 50-50. It was 50-50. They said six women, six men. Now I could be wrong. Because they could be counting some alternates.
I thought it was like 6 or 7 men and like 4. I heard 4 women, but I don't know.
Let me check. Let's go to the Google.
I heard 4 women, and then that would have gave, if it was 4 women, it would have been like 8 men. But they were all different ages, so I thought that was pretty interesting too.
Right.
A lot
I did like that
because they had them up to like the 60s. Couple in the 20s. It was pretty interesting.
Let me see. How many women were on the Diddy jury? Let's see. I can't believe we just calling them Diddy. Over the course of the trial, a jury of 8 men and 4 women heard the okay. So I was wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was 4 women.
I just picked that up the last day or two, so it ain't like I've been following it from the peripheral, like everybody else.
Bruce in the building. You know what's crazy? Because you're hearing so much, and you kind of gotta filter through all the information that you get. But the portion of this live is that a lot of things that are starting to happen in the United States does have impact on people outside of the United States or when they leave outside of the United States, because it kind of sets a precedent of how laws are made when dealing with men and women in certain avenues that we're in. And I thought this was somebody tapping in right now and say, what is he doing? This is appropriate to travel space because remember, when the cases were going on with the I'm trying to word this without triggering anybody on YouTube, with the youngins, guys with the youngins, you know what I'm talking about? So when that whole youngin thing was happening, it triggered and enforcement of laws in the United States for guys going overseas dealing in that type of effery, right? So this could be a precedent, right? And the reason why I wanted to bring it up is because there's a lot of misunderstandings, and there's a lot of vindication, I think, that comes out of this verdict. Now, you can tell me if I'm wrong. I'll say my piece, you say your piece, and we'll figure it out. So 3 counts, 3 counts dismissed, 2 counts of essentially pay for play, but across state lines. My man got hemmed up on, which is called the Mann Act. I have no idea why they call it the Mann Act. Maybe it's an acronym, because I know ladies that be soliciting some game too.
It's MANN. I think it goes back to a particular senator who introduced the act. That act goes back to Jack Johnson, the first black heavyweight champ. That act was created to lock him up because he brought a little white girl across state lines.
Hey, a question. I'm glad you brought that up. Was Jack Johnson supposed to be the dude in Harlem Nights?
Yeah, kind of. The one that was stuttering. Yeah. Yeah. That was, yes. Yeah.
Get him, champ.
Yeah. Big black guy. And basically, anybody, if you're a boxing fan, Jack Johnson was beating them white boys to death. And, they didn't like that. So once he started doing that, and then he had a taste for them bunnies back then, we gonna get him. And I think he went overseas for some years to escape it. And he just got pardoned 5-6 years ago, maybe Biden or somebody. I think maybe even Trump might have gave him a pardon. He long dead, but yeah. And so you learned. So it's been 100 years. You don't bring no gals across no state line. That's a federal case.
Well, I want to talk about
old.
That. I want to talk about that, and I brought some notes, Rico.
Okay. So I just wanted to point that out where that came from. It wasn't man because it's 4 men. I was a senator, last name MANN, introduced the act, and it was going after a black man. It was tailored specifically. They were gonna get that nigger for messing with them white women. And it's been on the books over 100 years.
This is why. See, this is why Uncle Rico here, because Uncle Rico got the game. What up, Kev? Listen, the traveling across state lines, whether if we're talking trafficking or we're talking the Mann Act, right? Let's be. I like fair. I like, if it's gonna be fair. If there's equality that's wanted, fine, let's do it. But it's got to be fair across the board. When a certain industry star, right, has an idea for a group session, right, and she hires talent to come on that set to do certain things, doesn't that fall under the same statutes of trafficking? So shouldn't we be going after these women too? Because essentially what the law is saying, that if I'm dealing with a shorty from Louisiana and I fly her up so we can have a good time, and I'm clapping them cheeks, I could go to jail if she says he got me here for this.
Yeah.
That's absurd.
Yes, and it's not tailored to men. It's tailored to anyone who does that.
Rico, the bill was written with men. The picture in people's mind was for men.
It was specifically written for Jack Johnson. I'm telling you, the guy they wrote it for. This guy name was like I said, the senator was James Robert Mann. He was a Republican, and he wrote it to get that nigga because that nigga was messing with them white girls in 1910. That's how old the act is. So that's 150. I don't know, 100 and something years old. And it got enacted. Everybody passed. So yeah, but has it been applied? I'm pretty sure that they prosecuted some women under the Mann Act. And that's the easy, what it is it's so black and white, literally. If they just cross a single state line, for the purposes of, I think they called it the purpose of prostitution. They even wrote it like back then. It was like immoral act or anything like that. Then you was facing a federal charge. So basically, what I would always like people to ask me, and I'm like, look, you're in Ohio. I think Kentucky's your neighboring state, right? You got a short end in Kentucky and you trying to knock them boots, you better take your ass to Kentucky and knock them boots. Don't
That's
bring her to
insane.
Ohio.
That is
If you bring her
insane.
to Ohio, obviously you better make sure it's like a real legitimate relationship. But even if you were like, man, I'm gonna put on the street, we're gonna do a freak off in Ohio. Don't have her come from Kentucky. Take your ass to Kentucky. Or get your freaks for your freak offs from in Ohio.
So
because the potential is there that if they want to go after you, I'll say this, and I've told people, some people know, like way back before I was married and in my younger years, I used to be in the lifestyle, the swinger. So, and a whole lot of people are into that. What I'm saying is, so kind of like what they said Diddy was doing, I'm like, yes, but he went overboard with that shit. That was not, he was a swinger on steroids. You ain't paying nobody to pee on nobody. Now, if they want to, they want to. You ain't forcing nobody. I'm like, nah, bro, that's not what happens if you know anybody in the lifestyle, if you've ever been in the lifestyle. So what he was doing, it was like people in the lifestyle, like, don't put that shit on us, because they don't do it to that degree. He obviously was using his power and his influence, and that's his business, and I don't care. But you can't, and most people, you don't bring people across state lines. If I'm a sponsor a party here in DC, I just put out the information and people come of their own free will. I don't even bring anybody. They come of their own. But what he was doing was different. Flying people in, paying for the male prostitutes or female prostitutes. They're still prostitutes. Whether they sleep with him or someone else, he's flying them in from across state lines. That's the part where it was, they probably wanted to acquit him on that. But it was like, nigga, you cross state lines, for the purpose of sex.
Here is my
pushback.
Here is my annoyance. Jay Measy in the building. Salute. Bruce in the building. Kevin in the building. Hey guys, check in, tap in. Just drop a note, say you here, hit the like button if you can, say what's up. I think this is a beautiful topic because there's a lot of things that guys don't really understand, and we need to before things like that. We don't got to be rich to have these issues happen to us. And so I just want y'all guys to tap in. Plus, I want to be able to there's accountability across the board.
Just for the record, they get
John Davies in the building. Salute.
They get street pimps every day on the Man Act. We
That's
just
fine.
Don't hear about it because it's Slim Pookie and the Natty, and nobody cares about Slim Pookie and the Natty.
I'll tell you what.
But they on the Man Act every day.
Arrest all the PIMPs. Arrest them all. I'm gonna tell you why. Because the passport bros been marrying these hookers, and they couldn't marry them if the pimps was in the way. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, I'm just saying is what we need to understand is what they charge Diddy with. They use that every day. They just on low-level Negroes that we don't know or care nothing about. A lot of them get charged with the Man Act.
It's kind of look, for a nation of laws that boast about its freedom. It's in the national anthem. It's in the Constitution. It's in the Bill of Rights. Freedom. What's the song? Let freedom ring, right? Freedom. Right. We were taught this forever. You are removing free will. Somebody got on a plane knowing we're coming, we're going to hang out. Yes, we're going to clap probably, because in your belongings are the just in case kits, right? You travel, you got some prophylactics with you. You travel, you got a plan B, or you got a dental dam, or whatever type of freakiness you doing. Maybe you got your special kind of heated lubricants, whatever you trying to do, right? You got a double-sided dildo. Whatever you into, that's wild work. Actually, that's wild work.
Okay. Let's bring it back to the case of the day, Diddy, right? And of course, I'm like, the way I look at it, he lucky I wasn't on that jury. His ass would never see home. Because I would have found him guilty on everything.
But why?
My opinion. Because why? I think
RICO, you couldn't have found him guilty in. Because if you found him guilty in RICO, you would have to charge Cassie and Jane Doe.
Probably, maybe. Yeah, but again, but not necessarily. No, I wouldn't have had to charge him. Because every day, part of prosecution is you will give immunity to people who've actually participated in a crime to get someone higher up. That happens every day. That's in drugs, murder, people. Sammy the Bull Gravano is free today, and he killed people.
You ain't getting off. You ain't getting no immunity of a RICO. You'll probably get immunity of other things. Because if they're gonna charge her RICO, peep this. If they charge both of those women with the RICO, they also have to charge them with the Mann Act because they made phone calls and set up freak offs on their own.
State line. Right. But exactly. What I'm saying is, like I said, Sammy the Bull, he killed people. He gave up higher ups. He free today. They do that. So we can't say that they don't. The only thing I'm saying is, as a juror, I could have seen easily to have found him guilty. And if I had to prosecute them too, so what? It still doesn't mean he wasn't guilty of it. But I think I applaud him because he had money, he had a good legal team, and they did everything they could to convince those jurors that he wasn't guilty of the worst crimes, and I salute him for that. That's the way the system works.
It was unanimous. That was crazy. It was unanimous too.
I think the prosecutors did a bad job. But I'm gonna tell you this: I'm not upset. I'm glad to see him convicted of something because I certainly don't think he should got a clean walk. And the reason why I'm saying the thing is when you're sitting there and you're telling me about what things was or wasn't, I'm like, let's look at the things that came out in the trial that they didn't deny he did. I'm like,
right, but he wasn't charged for those.
No, I know, but I'm just sitting there saying is you sitting in a corner beating off while somebody.
Man. Hold on. He could have been watching Sports Center. We don't know.
Bro, he's sitting in the corner pleasing himself while a bunch of dudes is peeing in your girlfriend's mouth.
Yo, that's
so, you know what I'm saying? And they're giving her all kinds of STDs and cold sores. Like, bro.
Yo, he's a freak, bro.
And you got a mask on and all oiled up. Like, come on, bro. Come on. So I get black men celebrating. Like I celebrated OJ getting away with what he got away with. I still thought his ass did it. But when OJ got to work, I jumped up and down.
Bro,
but I still thought he did it.
Rico, just because something is unethical or immoral doesn't make it illegal.
I'm not saying it was illegal, but what I'm sitting there saying is it could have been. It also doesn't make it legal. So if something's unethical, and again, my thing is, while Diddy saying I didn't, I'm like, nigga, you wouldn't the one nobody peeing in your mouth.
Who knows? Nobody knows.
Yeah, from what I can tell. So I just think that for me, we always and they talk about power dynamics. So I'm like, okay, she's a borderline nobody. He's a billionaire. Look at whose mouth getting peed in. You know what I'm saying? If you're a real freak, tell him pee in your mouth, Diddy. But no. So if nothing else, I see a problem with like power dynamics because the person that's the billionaire, he's being pleased by a lesser person. And I just like, for that alone, it's like, you got to get sat down. You got to get sat down if nothing else other than like knock that shit off.
I think so too.
Don't
I
come
do
back
agree.
outside and you go start that shit again, peeing on somebody else's child or somebody else's daughter getting peed in the mouth for you to be satisfied with your kid.
Yo, Rico.
That's all. What's up,
Rico,
salute, sir?
Money Travels in the building. Salute, fam.
Salute. What's going on?
Yo, New York celebrating, ain't they?
Yeah, well, listen.
Where your baby
100
on? Where your baby
Hey,
on?
listen, 100%. But at the end of the day, when we dealing with federal cases, right, and we dealing with law and all that, at the end of the day, for the most part, the crimes that they charge him for, he ain't commit. He didn't commit no racketeering. If we looked at the definition of racketeering in court, he didn't commit racketeering, right?
Right.
So the two charges that they did find him for, he did do that. Because at the end of the day, it's called the Mann Act. So at the end of the day, the Mann Act is a federal crime, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, the lower sentence of the Mann Act is 27 months, right? So you got 27 months and 27 months, right? He already got a year in. He go to the joint. He gonna get parole. He gonna be in the halfway house. He could be home by Christmas. You know what I mean?
It's a fair case.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a fair.
Rico, that's a fair case, right? So
Yeah, it's a federal case.
It's fair.
Technically, their percentages still stay true, right? They have a conviction rate.
Now it doesn't mean, but we also have to understand too, the feds picked it up and ran with it. Doesn't mean he still ain't facing state charges or he can't face state charges.
No, he can't.
Probably not like.
No, he can't. He can't. It's over.
The feds picked it up. They can't. There's no double jeopardy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
All right,
yeah.
I'll say this, and I told somebody this. This is what I think. You tell me what you think, Money. Right? I'm like, I'm not happy for him. He beat it. It was within the system. So I'm not mad.
He literally beat it.
Right.
In the corner.
Yeah.
But I'm not mad at him either because I'm like, if you got that money, he would have been a fool not to have done what he did. But what I'm saying is, somebody was like, oh, he'll be back. I was like, I don't see no way in hell he'll be back. Who's going to want to touch it? Because at no point was there any doubt about the debauchery he was participating in. So it's not like he can walk away from the fact that, like, I like to sit in the corner and watch a woman get peed in her mouth. He can't walk away from that.
You said who would touch him?
Like as far as the industry, businesses,
the president. There's a president of the United States that had similar allegations.
Okay,
similar allegations.
Okay,
and convictions.
We're talking
he
about,
runs the country now.
But then what we're talking about now, I'm talking about, record producing, movies. I just don't.
It's a different time.
This is the
it's
one
a different
thing
time, Rico.
And I think about it. It's like, and as an industry, they're always about making money. And what they would prefer is anybody if you're blemish free, I can make money. If you bring a blemish, then are you worth the wait? Are you worth the struggle to bring your fucking bullshit baggage? I don't think Puffy got that currency to be able to just like, look at, I'll tell you the truth. Why is your boy still in Bali? Russell Simmons. Russell, Uncle Russell.
Because Russ got he got pending charges. Right. That's what Russ got.
That nigga still in Bali. If don't think you can't get knocked off your perch and your ass don't. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if he's gonna get back up on that perch where people are gonna want to touch him. I think he is a little bit radioactive.
He's radioactive to be on TV, but he's still gonna be making money because he's still. But he has controlling interest in certain things, right?
Okay. Well, let me just say this, and I'm gonna shut up after this, Money, because me and you, we was talking before we came up. You talked about that civil shit. They about to run up a bag. A whole bunch of people about to run up a bag on him on the civil case, and they a lot. You don't even got to prove a civil case. A civil case is it likely this nigga did it? Well, and most juries gonna be like, yeah, it's likely he did it.
No.
With people coming out saying, I'm gonna put a case. You're gonna see me sitting up there. He touched me. Did he touch me? I want some money. And
I
that's
knew
what's
you
gonna
was.
start
I
to
knew
come
when
out.
you said you was in that lifestyle. You was at one of his parties. I knew it.
But that's what's gonna. But that's what's going to because look at the white boy doing the Tyler Perry. He ain't got to prove Tyler Perry did nothing to him. All he got to do is say, I got some DMs. Cut me a check.
I think Diddy gonna be able. Here's why I say that, because for one, at the end of the day, regardless of the matter, he made good music. Number one, right? Number two, at the end of the,
he made.
I'm saying he produced a lot of good people that came out. Yeah, produced. 100%.
He was behind a lot of music.
He was behind a lot of music. So at the end of the day, for the most part, you got Kanye that's supporting him, right? No matter. So listen, but look, check this out. Kanye still got that bag, right? So at the end of the day, for the most part, here's the thing. The thing about it is this: the same way if R. Kelly come out tomorrow, people gonna go line up and go see him at a concert. No matter what they say, they're gonna go see him. Yeah. So as far as music is concerned, if I'm say for example, if I'm a music exec or I own a music company, right? I can say, you know what? We can take Puff Daddy and put him behind the scenes, and he could produce all our music for us, right? He still get a bag and be behind the scenes, and the music still go out.
Right. Okay.
So he still got a leverage to make bread. You know what I'm saying? Now as far as him, like, you know, he's in the forefront before. Nah, he might not be.
That's what I'm saying. Thank you. That's what I'm trying to get at. It's like, yeah, behind the scenes, I think he can be that guy, but he can't be front facing no more because of the baggage. And it's just that the businesses, the corporation, that matters. That matters.
You know, when you said that, you know what came to my head?
What's that?
Suge Knight saying, if you don't want that producer all in the
all in your videos.
He's in the back now. Puff in the back.
Yeah.
But listen, but check it though. If you look at it, like if we look at everyday life, right? The man didn't really do nothing wrong. Only thing he really did is beat up the girl. That's it. But other than that, he just was freaking off. Everybody can freak off how they want to in their own spot.
Yeah.
That's what we asking about, right, because it's different now.
Right. And so
because go ahead. Now flying Rico, we just talked about that. Flying a little baddie from Houston, you could go to jail for that.
So what I don't like, what I'm afraid of is whether I'm happy he beat the case or not. I'm not really happy, but I really don't care one way or the other. I am a little bit afraid of the message that this is going to send to other male black celebrities. And I'm like, bro, Puff beat this. One thing about the feds, right? They going to take this L, right? Because this is an L for the feds. They're not going to like this shit. You best believe the next nigga they get up on that bench, they're going to tighten that ass up. They're not going to keep, like I said, they got a 98, 99% conviction rate. They're not going to be happy about taking this L. So if you, BLB is the next nigga up there, I'm going to be like Puff. It ain't going to work out that way for you. That's all.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm broke. I can't fly nobody nowhere.
I'm saying, I see another black celebrity thinking, I'm going to do like Puff. And I'm like, it's not going to work for you.
I predict he can get 10.
Puffy?
I think he's gonna get 2. I think he's gonna get 2.
I'm with money. I'm
gonna tell you why. Because, you know, once you go for sentencing, right? Mm-hmm. What the feds do, right? They do enhancements. So enhancements is what they do is put you, because you know you got levels. So certain things, right? So at the end of the day, like say for example, you never been in trouble, right? You get some point system, so they go by points, right? So say you never been in trouble, you here and there, but they can enhance you. They could come up charges to enhance you with this charge, such. So at the end of the day, they might put you at a certain guideline by the enhancements and say, well, since you've been enhanced or whatever, your guideline is this. Your guideline from that charge might be from 10 to 20 years. So say for example, each case carries anywhere from the maximum was 20 years.
The max was 10 on each, which
But just 2 10s is
cumulatively
20.
will give him 20. Yeah.
Right. So at the end of the day, you say, okay, the less is 27 months or something like that. So you say they enhance it 5 years, give them a 10 piece.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why it's going to be 2. I think it's going to be 2 years time served, right? Suspended. It'll be suspended. Actually, feds, right? You serve every day, right? So he'll
Every
serve
day.
probably like
Well, not every day,
serve,
but like 90 something percent.
so he'll probably serve probably 5 or 6 more months to get up.
But
I
you
think
know,
he'll
okay,
definitely be
wait,
home for Christmas. I'm gonna
okay.
tell you why. Hold on. Let me
Go
tell
ahead.
you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Just like you buy a house, right? Now I've never served fat time, but I know a gang of people who did. But just like you buy a house, the appraiser is gonna see how much every other house sold in that area and then give you a price.
100%.
Crime, you cannot over sentence this man for this crime. If the same judge handed out a 2-year sentence for it, it's just all he was paying for the transportation and the solicitation of a professional street worker for his girl. That also, now she also made those purchases herself without him even there. So if I'm a judge looking at this and I'm saying, did yes, he's guilty of this, but it seems like they have this type of lifestyle. They were probably unaware of the law, which I'm going on a limb tonight, and I'm gonna speak for the whole country, United States. 92% of us don't know that law and don't know what the 92% of us don't know that law and don't know what the
statute.
we don't know that. None of us. How many people prior to this case could recite to you that, hey, because we was all, man, Shorty want to come from Maryland, she coming to Boston for facts. I'm sending the ticket. Now she could go back home after I cussed her out and said, I'm not giving you 5 bins. Go home, and I got a case. No one knew this case exists, at least in the black community. None of us knew.
I've known it for a long time.
You're part of that 8%.
Yeah, I've known it for a long time.
So ignorance of the law is not.
I studied. I knew about Jack
Johnson,
Johnson, and I knew that's what they locked his ass up for. So
they're
if you
gonna
knew
get
your
a boy
history,
2 years.
Studied your history, you should have known that. In particular, about, like I said, Jack Johnson was the first black heavyweight ever. But here's the thing where I think I'm leaning more with money is because of the fact that in addition to the crossing, first of all, the Mann Act, like I said, is 150 years old, right? It's pretty black and white. There's not a lot of wiggle room in it. So as far as the conviction, it's fuck the appeals. He did it. Ain't no appeal. There's no basis of appeal. But I think what will probably give the judge some leeway, like I said, the 27 months is the minimum. That everybody like, oh, it's 27 months. I'm like, yeah, that's the lower end. That's not the higher end. They'll land somewhere in the middle, like Money says. And the reason why is because of the violence, which we go back to the tape. He beat the brakes off of Cassie, and no way nobody think that's the only time he's done that. So just like, it's like, okay, the judge will be like, just like I believe you beat Cassie ass, I also believe you beat Jane, who testified that she was assaulted and beat up by him. So with the added, like you said, the enhancements can come between, not only did you transport them across state lines for the purposes of prostitution or sex, but you also physically assaulted them while commissioning this act. And I think he may not do, it may not be 10, it may be, I'm leaning closer to 10. I was like, okay, that's why they said 20, 10, 10, they can do consecutively. I'm like, he's probably looking at about 7 or 8, 9, 10. 7 to 10 is my guess. Yeah, I really do believe that. Knock some time off.
A judge is supposed to judge him. A judge is supposed to judge him and sentence him on the crime that is in front of them for that particular.
The Mann Act.
They cannot. Violence. Right. That's right. No, there is no violence. There is no violence.
It is.
There's no violence. There is no violence.
No, it's not violent.
There is no violence on any of this. This whole trial had nothing to do with violence. Nothing. It had to do with coercion. They thought coercion was the case. They couldn't make that case. There was no violence taken into account for this case.
But you still get them across.
The only reason that
purpose of prostitution.
The only reason that abuse case, the domestic case, was brought into account because they was trying to strengthen his RICO case by saying that there was bribery involved into his criminal organization, which they couldn't prove. That's why it even got mentioned. So I think he's going to get probably at most 3 years, right? 1 serve 2, get out. But my thing is this, guys. Where is your free will? You signed up for this. You wanted this. You chased him not because of what type of man he was. You chased him because you was after him for his money. And then you found out that to be around that type of guy that is a high value man, that there's certain things that comes with that lifestyle.
Okay, let me just quickly read out what the Mann Act is.
Let's go,
The
gang.
Mann Act is you're being convicted for transporting women across state lines for immoral purposes.
Transporting who?
Damning anything.
Transporting who?
Women across state lines.
Oh, he innocent.
For immoral purposes.
Oh, he innocent because he didn't transport women. He transported men.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that they have revised it since then. But it was I'm pretty sure they have revised it since then. But okay, an act to further regulate interstate. It's all about interstate. It's all about bringing from one state to the other. And like I said, James Robert Mann was the guy who did it. It was signed into law in 1910. So it was a felony to engage. In its original form, the act made it a felony to engage in interstate or foreign commerce transport of any woman or girl for the purpose of prostitution or debauchery or for any other immoral purpose. That's the law. It's not my words. That's just the way it is. Its primary stated intent was to address prostitution, immorality, and human trafficking, particularly where trafficking was for the purpose of prostitution. It was one of several acts of protective legislation aimed at moral reform, because it was all about this. Remember, this was about prohibition. That was at the same time they were saying you outlawed alcohol too around the Mann Act. And we saw how that shit became, right? It was about, during the progressive era in practice, its ambiguous language about immorality resulted in it being used to criminalize even consensual sexual behavior between adults. See how they write shit up?
Okay.
We write laws that we can fuck anybody that we want to.
Well, Rick, we talking about if they changed it, fine. If they changed it, fine. But the original law said women. Okay, number one. Number two, if that is the case, right? If that is the case, then Cassie and Daphne Joy, 50 Cent's baby mother, is guilty of the same charges of Diddy for trafficking or bringing people across state lines. Then if the federal government is in the business of upholding the law, then they should bring charges on those two women too.
They didn't beat up nobody.
I've never seen. There's no violence in this case. There's no violence. You don't have to beat up someone to break the law.
Okay.
They broke the law. So they should be accountable too. You see, you said earlier, right? Or it's been said around media that, this is a law that is for men and women. No, it is mostly men persecuted because of this law.
Absolutely.
And women do it all the time. There is a woman, one of these, what's one of those professional workers, right? That does videos. She had 1,000 men fly in to service her joints, right? Yeah. That's a violation of the Mann Act.
But I think the reason, and let's be honest, okay. In all honesty, like I said, the law was written in 1910. The law wasn't written in 2025.
So it wasn't the Second Amendment. When the Second Amendment was written? We still go by that?
Shit, I don't know. But what I'm sitting there saying is at the time that the law was written, it wasn't women making men cross state lines to do nothing. So at that time when they wrote it, did they foresee that they would need to make it to include women? No. but I'm pretty sure that they've since revised it and have and prosecuted women for the same thing. So I'm not disagreeing with you. If you want to say that it is applied unfairly, sure, okay, I'm not gonna argue that. But that was what, nonetheless, that was what Diddy was charged with, found guilty of. He beat the case on the RICO because it was just hella complicated. He beat the other cases. But your issue is, how is this affecting men as a whole? I would just tell men to be very careful celebrating the win, because that shit ain't gonna apply to the rest of us. Just don't. If you running around today thinking, oh, I'm gonna go pee in somebody's mouth, all right, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm just telling you, you're gonna see. I don't want no young men to believe that this is a nigga. Go look in the mirror. It ain't a victory for you. This is a victory for one man, Sean Puffy Combs.
But it sets a precedent.
I don't think it's a full. No, I don't. I do not at all. I think the feds gonna go back. They're gonna look at how they got their ass whooped, and I guarantee you, on the rematch, they're not losing.
Do you think that they overreached by adding the RICO?
Probably. I think the RICO was a bit much. I think they should have went with just the other two, and maybe the RICO is the thing that made the jury feel uncomfortable about the whole thing. I think I can see that. I do think he was guilty of it, but I can see where it made them feel.
Where do you see guilty of a RICO?
Because of the all the predicated things that they said.
No. The RICO specifically outlines an organization, which means that there are other people involved in that organization that was not charged. And two, Anthony TC said they have immunity. Look, you can't. So you would have to admit
that you was a part of the organization.
That you was a part of the organization, which they did not in their immunity deal. So they could have been charged for that RICO too. And they should have been added to that RICO too.
But now that they got an immunity deal, if you get an immunity deal, then you can't. But
you got an immunity for specific things. Yeah. If that's what they have, I don't know if they have an immunity deal. He said that. Yeah. I don't know.
I wish they hadn't have done the RICO. I think that would have helped the jury. Throwing the RICO in, that made the jury go, okay, these motherfuckers. I do believe it. It felt like they were overcharging, but they weren't gonna let them walk with nothing. And again, people that think this is a celebration because he got convicted of the Mann Act, that's a mistake.
What's crazy is this, right? Mm-hmm. Cassie. So let's look at Cassie, right? Let's look at her track record for a minute. You remember she was engaged to Ron Leslie, right?
Oh man.
Now, when she was engaged to Ron Leslie, at the end of the day, for the most part, she was messing with Diddy. Ron Leslie found out about it. He left her alone. Then when she was messing with Diddy, she also was smashing Kid Cudi. Not including the football player, not including the people, the escapades that her and Diddy was having. You know what I mean? But before we knew all this, we was looking at Cassie like, wow, she bad. She the most beautiful. She this, she that. Bruh, at the end of the day, for the most part, they all scuss buckets, man. You know what I mean? No, like it don't matter, bruh. It don't matter.
That's the travel space, right? Right? Right. Hey, that's a travel space with the. That's why. Remember, I told you, Barry.
Don't come for them passport bros, bro.
No, remember I said they said it was always my problem. I was like, I don't have a problem with y'all going over there having fun. It's just the way y'all paint them as being something that it's like, nigga, are you serious? They look it. Because Cassie, I tell you at the end of the day, Cassie fine as hell. Can't nobody say that woman's unattractive. That's a lie. That is a lie. That bitch is a 10 out of 10.
She tough in the paint. That's a fact.
Yes. But if you kiss her, just go on taste pee. You know what I'm saying? Because she had a lot of pee in her mouth.
What if she
and
asked for
cold
that?
sores and everything else, and
What if
and
she
and,
asked
and,
for that?
and body count. Excuse me, but she ain't the only one. Body count out of this world.
And she admitted that she had she was a sex addict. She admitted that.
Right. And then the whole point is, you think that ain't the same thing in Colombia, Thailand, Brazil? I know damn well it is in the DR, times 100. So I'm like, again, y'all out there with a bunch of Cassies.
Hey, let me say this real quick. Let me say this real quick.
Yes, sir.
I disagree.
Let me say this real quick. Let me tell you how I got into the space, right? The travel space, right? This is how I came into the travel space. So when I came into the travel space, right, I used to see my man right here, BLB, right? Him and Chet was in DR, right?
Okay.
You had dog team. He was there. You had King Lockett. He was there.
Yeah.
You had Taylor
Mayor.
Made Mayor. Right when I came into the travel space, Mayor was with Miko. They was
Yeah.
together at that time.
That's the travel space Diddy right there, Miko.
Right.
Right. Exactly. So that's when I came. So when I came into the space, right at the end of the day, it was they were showing the girls, but it really was just something different. It was brothers living outside the United States. They were showing the females, but now it's turned to something else. Now it's, I gotta have a chica, I gotta do this, bring on the live. She was none of that. And if she did come on the live, when she came on the live, she cooked and she talked about her community and she gave us a dab of what we would get if we go over there. But it was classy. It really wasn't, oh, come shake your butt right here, get on all that type of stuff. It was a totally different vibe. See, now I can't really watch it because it's something different now. See, before I could sit back and watch the brothers tell them their story on the couch. My lady might pass by the room. It's nothing. It's okay. I'm good here. Now you can't really watch it. It's something totally different. You know what I mean? And then the things what brother said he was traveling for at the time, right? I ain't seen it yet. Or I want a submissive this, or I want to watch. Nobody ain't caught nothing yet. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a different time and space, right? So for the most part, I can't even really watch it no more. But at the same time, let's don't. I'm like, I ain't gonna get it twisted. It's still interesting sometimes. You turn on and see what's going on. But if we could get it back to that, which I know it can be. But even with Mayor, he didn't really ever bring no chicks up, but he was interesting. Just watching him going through the neighborhoods, going through, you know what I mean, the burials and all that, dealing with the locals. It was just a time, and it was a white girl. She was married to a Dominican guy. She had went out there and they got a house. And I used to watch her channel too. Listen, it was just a different thing. It was nice. It was dope. You know what I'm saying? To sit back and watch it. Now it's just I don't know what it is now.
But you know what's funny is like you said this, and I'm gonna let you be in a sec. But like I know you and my guy Jay, right? And I died laughing because he interviewed Mayor a few weeks back. And I just died like I said, I never met Mayor, but I knew like when I came into the whole Sasua thing, it was like him and Miko, this type, whatever. On the Mayor Sasua, boom, boom, boom. Right? I thought the nigga was the real mayor for a minute, right? So, he kept saying he was. I like, oh, okay, they got a black mayor over there, right? And what's funny was like I watched the video with Jay, and his attitude is like, oh, fuck the DR, these women, da, 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 da. I was like, wait. So it's funny to me because I listen to guys, how their evolution about a place changes. And I always say, the way they describe it on the way out is the way it was when they came in. They just didn't want to see it. They just would, like I listened to Austin Holloman earlier today. Now all of a sudden, Kenya the greatest thing in the world, and Brazil is all this bad shit. And I was like, but nigga, when you was 2-3 years ago talking about Brazil was paradise, all that was still going on then. So why does your reflection of a place change after you either you got ran through or you can no longer be there? What I try to tell people is like, these places were like, I got a retirement home in the DR. I love the DR, and I also know it ain't shit. I go into it knowing like, no, it's. I tell people like the education rates, the work ethic. I'm retiring there knowing how fucked up it is. I'm like, just take the rose-colored glasses off. I tell everybody it's just different. It's not better. It's different and it's cheaper. And that's enough for me. I'm tired of the US. So I picked to choose to go there because I'm tired of the fucking US. I'm not running there because it's better. I'm running there because it's different and it's cheaper. Good enough.
Rico, for defense of that argument that guys were saying that it's better, both can be true at the same time. There are aspects that are better over there than it is here. Like for instance, I come out the airport, I get a beer, I hop in the car with the beer, I could drink a whole 6-pack in a beer. You can't do that in the States. No. I could walk down the street and clear my thoughts of dealing with my shorty. She's getting on my nerves. I take a beer or a bottle and just walk down the street, sit at the pier in Zona Colonial and zone out. Nobody bother me. You can't do that and supposed to be the freest country in the world. So there are some things that are better in some of these countries than there is in the United States. For instance, if I wanted to start a business and if I wanted to cook pancakes from 5 in the morning to 5 at night, I don't need no permits. I just set up shop and get it done in the DR. You can't do that in the United States. So there are certain aspects that are definitely better than the United States. And that's what some of these guys have been saying.
But it's a lot of shit that's worse though, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to get to that. Okay. There's a lot of things that's better. And like we talked about a few episodes ago where the treatment of the man in some of these countries is immaculate. Like even if you're dealing with a scammy, shysting, lying piece of ish from the DR, one of them joints, she's still going to treat you like a king, even though she's lying, trying to get to your wallet. She's still going to treat you good. And it is consistent amongst their women. They're going to treat you good. Just because she's treating you good don't mean that it's going to be good in the end. You know what I'm saying?
But that's my narrative is that, or that's my point is like, it's okay for everything you describe. The problem I don't have is with the Dominicans or the Colombian or the Thai person or the Brazilian. I have a problem with the motherfucker from the US. I'm like, go over there with your eyes wide open. So like you say, why do you only see the positive? And for whatever reason, you can't see none of the negative. You can't see none of the constant begging and the fact that you got to support. You only see that positive, and it's like, motherfucker. Okay, yeah, all that is true, but nigga, you got to
refrigerator pictures. You don't see them empty refrigerator pictures or the mother that died 6 times this month.
You don't see none of them. Wait a minute. You can see every single mother in the state, but you don't see none of them bitches over there. When I know like 90% of Dominican women are single mothers, the fuck are you talking about?
Let me ask both of y'all a question.
Yes,
why y'all think brothers don't go to the Caribbean and frequent the Caribbean as much as they frequent Colombia and DR
as
or
far
Thailand?
As like Jamaica, Aruba, we're people that look like us? Because niggas is colorist.
It's nah, I don't think so.
Yeah, niggas is colorist.
It's the price. There's guys that travel. When you in DR, there's a lot of guys that deal with, dark-skinned females. Same thing in Colombia or Brazil. It's the price. If the price was economical in some of those places, they would be there. If Jamaica was cheaper, they would be there. Because Jamaica's like a second home for black people. Okay, FBAs.
I tell you what.
You know what I'm saying? They'd be there.
No. I'm going to call bullshit on you, BLB. Because niggas will go all the way to Thailand, but they won't take their ass to Africa. Both of those motherfuckers is far. And Africa don't cost no more than Thailand. Niggas will go to Thailand for fucking Asian, for them yellow girls, but they won't take their ass to Africa for them black women. Niggas is colorist, and I ain't gonna let you get away with that shit.
Let me ask you a question.
I'm FBA, but I know how fucked up.
Let me ask you a question, though, Rico. Let me ask you a question.
So even with the
honestly, do you honestly think it's a colorism situation, or
I
some
do.
guys might not find those women attractive.
Okay, some guys, but I'm saying, I'm trying to tell you, as a 61-year-old, soon to be 61-year-old black man, we have been conditioned to include myself. I'm trying to tell you, we have been conditioned, and it's because anti-blackness is global, white supremacy is global, and you can sit there and think, "Oh, I'm the super Negro; it don't affect me." No, nigga, it affects all of us. To what degree? All I tell us is let's continue to try to educate ourselves. I don't say that I don't have certain colorism theories in my head, but I try to constantly work on it. I try to constantly tell myself, be conscientious about it. I'm not tossing it all away. Yeah, it is. But what I'm sitting there saying is when I try to spend my money, I don't spend my money exclusively with black people, but I look at spaces where I feel like black people aren't getting a fair share, and I try to spend a little extra money in those black spaces because I'm like, if it's not a conscientious choice, we're never going to get a fair deal. And that's just a fact. It's just a fact. As hard as I fall into that bullshit. White supremacy whipping my ass every day too. Colorism is too. But it's 2025 and we can't wash it away completely. But we got to stop saying it ain't a thing. Because the brother asked the question because obviously you see it, right?
Well, yeah, and I also think at the end of the day, for the most part, it don't have those like. See, I just got back from Jamaica, but if you go to those places, you're not gonna see a strip like Sasua. You ain't gonna see that. You ain't gonna see a lot of those strips like that. It's mostly like this right here. It's mostly like a girl will see you, like you, and at the end of the day, you know what it is. You know you're gonna pay, but you ain't gonna pay by night. It ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying, transactional like that. It's like, okay, he gonna take care of me and I'm gonna just be with him type of vibe. Not saying they ain't got places like, well, I'm gonna say women like that, but at the end of the day, it's not, they don't have no strips or a place you can go in where you got a lot of men there just for that. It ain't like that.
Well, even
Rico, real quick.
Go ahead.
Real quick, Rico. Can I give y'all a devil's advocate real quick?
You always do, nigga.
I'm sorry.
you always up here. I'm gonna call you the passport bro counsel.
I gotta give it, because everything that they do, I'm not against. A lot of things some things they do, I'm against. But let's be clear. If I go to Jamaica, Barbados got some baddies. Let's be clear. Trinidad got some baddies. Guyana, forget it. But if you go to these places, you know what I'm saying? What's your chances of actually getting one of those baddies? It's real slim, because the price, your numbers, it's real slim. I know guys that go out there and they have no chance with those baddies, certified baddies. And it also depends on, but if you go to DR or you go to Cartagena or Thailand, you could get those baddies for the low.
Okay.
It is, the price is a major factor. I promise you this, I'll drink a whole 750 to the head without stopping. If you tell me that if all of the Caribbean, the Black Caribbean islands lowers their prices inside the country to put it to where DR is and Colombia is, that more Black brothers wouldn't travel there, I'll drink that whole bottle if more Black brothers start traveling there. Prices is crazy. Prices is insane.
If I want to accept your premise that it is strictly money, then
not strictly. That's the major factor.
Okay, if that's the primary concern, then even when we look at places, we already know the 5 top heavy hitters: DR, Colombia, Brazil, Thailand, and the Philippines. I'm going to take Thailand and the Philippines out of it because naturally they don't have African people. But Brazil, DR, and Colombia has a high propensity of people of African descent. Why do the African descent working girls, they're collecting the least amount of money in these spaces? So even in Colombia, especially in Colombia, what they call them, the paisas, The white
No, that's
Colombian.
Medellin. That's Medellin. That's Medellin.
Okay, but whatever. They eating like shit. And the black Colombian working girls, they're all working girls because these are working girl spaces. Same thing in the DR. You go up to the Sioux. The Haitians are struggling. The Haitians ain't eating like the Dominicans. Phenotypically, they look totally different. Same thing in Brazil. Brazil's very racist. Black Brazilian women, working girls, don't fare as well as the ones who phenotypically don't. So I'm like, so even among the spaces where the price is agreeable, we cannot ignore, even perfect example. Look at all our favorite YouTubers. I don't even want to name any of them. Every time they got a bitch twirling and spinning, how many afros have you seen?
Are
Like,
you talking about? Are you talking about the Barber's World? And you talking about Jay Rillo?
When they present less than 10% of the talent that they present is Afro. You like what you like. My wife looks indigenous, probably more European than anything. But the fact of the matter is, so I'm like, and I said that, that's why I said and say is even I subconsciously have to recognize the fact that that colorism shit still exists within me. But then when I watch the younger generation, I'm like, y'all niggas doing the same shit I'm doing. So you can't tell me, oh, that's you. I'm like, nigga, y'all doing it too. Because I'm watching y'all, and 90% of the talent that y'all put up, oh, she's a baddie. I'm like, yeah, but they always look a certain kind of way, hair a certain kind of way.
Rico,
fuck me.
Did you ever think
and tell me I'm making it up?
Okay, now I'm gonna give you the reason why it's like
I'm
that,
on
Rico.
passport attorney.
We out here in these streets, Rico.
Okay.
Look, the women that you see on these videos, right, from these guys are 98.5% pro shooters. Now, when you go to these countries like Colombia, like Brazil, like Ecuador, a lot of black women are not selling it because they got a little bit more morals and values to them than the others do. That's a fact. You'll see a limited amount. For instance, there's a gang of Haitian women in DR
selling box.
There's a small amount that's selling box. There's a gang of black, Haitian women that live there.
In the Sioux?
In comparison to the Dominican women, it is a 0.129% Haitian women selling some goodies. In Sosúa, in Punta Cana, and Boca Chica. There's a small amount of Haitians selling box in these countries. There's a small amount of black people. I'm just telling you. I was out in them streets. I'm in Medellin and Parquelleras. I'm in Laureles, and I'm seeing all of these women. I'm in Cartagena. It is very rare that you see a black woman come through them strolls, bro.
But come on, be honest. Okay, now
I'm telling you.
Enrico, I can agree with that. I'm gonna tell you why I can agree with that. You know why? Yeah. Now look. Now we all from tri-state areas, all three of us, right?
Yes, sir.
So at the end of the day, especially Bob, he from where all the Haitians at, right? And if we look at their background and we look at their community, right? They don't really have that. But now, if you go to those other communities, it's there in the United States still. It's they just who they are, right? But now you might have some people that's in these places that's doing it for survival, right? But now if we look at the people, you go to Haiti, or you go to a Haiti community in the United States, or you go to a Colombian community in the United States, or Brazilian, the black Brazilians, right? They chill. But the ones that's all pretty and like that, they own it. Right here in the United States, they own it. Same thing, no difference.
But this is a counselor. This is my pushback. Right? Counselor. Objection.
Overruled.
I think, because like I said, the area I know the most is Punta Cana, right? They got a heavy area that used to be called Fruisa. I don't know if the Dominicans ran them out of there. That was a real heavy Haitian area, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of working girls that came out of there, and they would come to the spot, Infinity, Drink Point. That's the area in Punta Cana. And I went to Sosúa once, and from what I've seen, and like I said, the only area I know a lot is I know Punta Cana inside out. From my experience, is it fewer of the Haitian working girls there? Yes. But I'm going to tell you the reason why there's a few of them there is because they struggle to get work. Because I watch guys come to Punta Cana and literally, them some colorless ass niggas when they come through. So literally, you would have a lot of, especially if they were dark skinned, they just wasn't getting chosen. So over a period of time, I don't know if part and some of them would tell you they don't like Marina, they don't like this, they don't like that, you know, guys, and I hate to say it, you know, a lot of them be African American brothers. They come down there and see that light skin and lose their fucking mind.
But Rico, you're saying yes. This is okay. Here is what I used to do.
I'm saying it's more choices more than. I don't think any woman should have to be out there selling herself. But I don't think like, oh, well, the Haitian women won't sell themselves. They don't sell themselves because niggas don't want to buy, or oh, you're gonna pay her $100, but you want to pay me.
True.
And
that ain't true, brother.
From my experience, that's what I seen.
That ain't true. I'm gonna tell you what. If they got out on that strip, there was a viral video in this travel space. I think 2023, 2022, 2023 in Sosúa. Remember the girl, white dress, Haitian girl, that was banging on the dude's door to get her money. He didn't want to pay.
He was trying to cheat on some money.
She was selected. Everybody that seen that video was like, "Yo, she's fine. She's tough." There is, if they went out in these streets and started selling them, they're gonna get the same amount of money.
What was the video about? Some nigga that was trying to lowball her.
You know, he looked like you a little bit.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Right?
Yeah, it was. It was exactly was.
And that was why she was going off. I was like,
but Rico, they lowball all those girls. They do it. I be there. You ever been on that strip and see them dudes negotiating? No, single mil. No,
like, I ain't going back.
2,000 pesos. You hear it. But bro, I'm gonna tell you this. People have this concept of the world because of their small community or niche that they're in. And they think that represents the bigger picture. It doesn't. The truth of the matter is, and somebody said it here in the comments, there's plenty of Black Colombians. There are a lot of, if you say more than this number, if it could be 2,000 Black Colombians or Haitians selling cheeks. But on the grand scheme of everybody that's selling cheeks, they're a small percentage. There's probably, to that 2,000, there's probably 100,000 Dominicans that's doing it. There's probably 100,000 Colombians and Venezuelans that's doing it. But it's very rare that you see Black, I'm talking about Black, unmistakably, she's Black, women out there in them strolls. You don't see it as much.
I just don't think it's a morality thing. I think it's a.
With the Haitians, I think it is.
I think Haitians don't let that. And we you know, you said we're gonna have to do a survey. Me and you gonna have to get together and go out in them streets and do a survey and do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yo, listen. Hey, look, I'm out of here, fellas. But I got two things to say before I get up out of here. For one, I wanted to see B.O.B. right. I wanted to see him with a cigar line popping, right. I feel at the end of the day he should start a channel just for that and have him. I don't know if he still got the connection to get him or not, but have him at the end of the day going around to every cigar lounge in the United States promoting this joint. Then once he come with that, come with a cognac to go with it. You know what I'm saying? I see that, and we can talk about that on the back end most definitely.
Let's do that.
100%. Rico, check this out.
I still gotta fly out. We gotta get together because you right down the street anyway.
Yeah, just hit me. I'm free all the time. Just hit me. No matter anytime. Just hit me. Rico. So I was in Punta Cana. When I was standing at the Radisson Blue. They closed it down now. Okay. So right behind the Radisson Blue, If you might can figure it out, it's a strip, and it was nothing but a lot of they was Haitians, but they was living on this little strip right behind Radisson. When you come out Radisson Blue, it was like 4 or 5 different resorts right there together. And when you come out of Radisson Blue, it had a strip, and they all had they always the Haitians was standing back there, and then on the other side, on the back street, it was nothing but shops. It was like a little flea market with nothing but shops, and they were staying there too. But I want to find where their area is. If you can find that out for me.
Where's Radisson Blues? I'm gonna have to look it up when we get off of this because I'm
Yeah.
not sure exactly, but I know, like I said, you been to Drink Point?
Green Point, yeah, I went out there one time. So when I went out there one time, we had to take a car service. We had to take a car service. A car service came and got us and took us out there. But the Radisson,
that's the thing I always tell people. Like when you in Punta Cana, unlike Sosua, people are like, oh, you know, I'm like Sosua, you can walk. I was in Sosua for 2-3 days with Razor Ray. We was walking everywhere. I'm like, you can't do that shit in Punta Cana. Punta Cana is more spread out. It's more of an open area. And you either got to take a lot of Ubers or you want a rental car to get to it. The main spot everybody goes to, if you ever look up Punta Cana, is Infinity. They say Infinity, Drink Point, and Empire, those 3 clubs. And it's like all of Sosua in this locked-in area, and it's like almost 100% dime pieces, nothing else.
That's Radisson Blue right there.
Yeah, I gotta see, because the thing that throws me off about Punta Cana, which people don't realize. Let me see. Stop. Sunset Rooftop, Sarah. See, that's the only thing about it is, okay, you by Cabeza del Toro. Okay, I know that's not too far. Okay, that's close to going down by the airport. That's the thing. Like Punta Cana is weird. So you got the airport, you got Cabeza del Toro, which is an upscale area, which is nice. Then you come up closer into Barbaro, which is downtown Punta Cana, San Juan Shopping Center. And then you go up to where Infinity, Los Corrales, El Cortecito, and then you go further up to Macau. So they're like Punta Cana is like about 10 Sosuas that's just dotted all in different areas. And every little area has its own vibe and own thing. And they're all the same. So like that little area right there, Punta Cana, that's just millionaires there. You don't, nothing but rich Dominican and rich white folk right there.
Hey,
you
listen,
that where downtown, where Coco Bongo is and all that. Yeah,
that resort,
where you at?
That resort right there. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Like I've been to a lot of places. And that was like one of the best. I don't know why they even closed, but that was like one of the best resorts, all inclusive, man. Mm-hmm. And it's right on the water, so at the end of the day, like you could get on the boat. All that it was dope, man. Very.
I tell everybody, I'm like, if you ain't been to Punta Cana, you ain't been to DR. It's Sosua's nice. You know, Sosua's nice. I'll never go back. Best part. I mean, it just wasn't enough up there for me to do. You know, I get it, the guys, you know, with the chica, but I'm like, them 4s and 5s, when you're in Punta Cana, you see 9s and 10s all the time. It's like you don't want them fucking 4s and 5s.
Yeah, but before I get out of here, real quick.
Yes, sir.
And you made me think about it too, BOB, because you was smoking a cigar. But right here in Charlotte, right now, you know, Charlotte is I'm in Charlotte right now.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, I moved here. I've been here now, like going on 2 years. So basically, it's a growing area. You know what I mean? It's growing. Everything is growing. It's gonna be Atlanta maybe in the next 3 to 4 years, right? And they got a cigar lounge downtown. They got like 2, maybe 3 cigar lounges here, right? So you need to put them joints out because the cigar community, the lounge is growing, right? And at the end of the day, right now, it'd be a good time to hit them. Bam, new cigar, new taste. You know what I mean?
We're gonna talk offline. I still move them, so we talk offline about it.
I bet 100%. Yo, appreciate y'all for letting me up.
You need to start.
No. I usually smoke Patrons. The Patron, the short one.
I'm gonna send you some. I'm gonna send you a few of these. Yeah,
I grabbed a Patron, and know what I'm saying, I gotta have the cognac with it. I used to do the I used to do the Hennessy back in the
You
day.
need to get
Then
some white liquor. Get some gin. Stop that damn
And,
black. That brown. That brown put you down. White
and
make you
look,
right. Brown put
Brown
you
then
keep
down.
you up.
I changed from Douce to no. Then I changed from Hennessy to Douce. Then from Douce, now I went to Brugal, right? So I drink the Brugal on the rocks. That's it.
Bro, you need to get you this. If I'm gonna tell you which one you get, right? That Leyenda. You probably had it. You had Leyenda?
I don't think so.
I can't drink no more of the regular Brugal because it's not good to me no more. But this
Yeah,
right here, bro, if you could get a hold of this, that's
it's
something
it's
special.
it's black. It's black. The black
It's
label.
nah, I'm gonna show you. It's blue. They got blue, and then they just released another one that was brown. This right here. You see it in all the airports. They got it in the airports. Matter of fact, it come in this box. Oh, they do have a
Okay.
black one too. So this is the
Okay.
newest one that came out, the brown joint that came out. And
Gotcha. They sell it
what
in liquor stores and regular liquor stores.
I don't know if this one is here yet, but the blue one is here in the United States. This
Gotcha.
one, the brown one, they took the rum out of the barrel and they put it in cognac cask. They put it in a cognac barrel and they sit it there and let it get that flavor of the cognac. So I haven't tried it yet. I'm waiting to get a bottle. Hopefully my guy can bring it for me when he come back. But I heard everybody told me it's a fire.
You haven't tried
I had the blue. Yeah, I had the blue
yeah,
right
I
here.
drink that. I drink that when I'm usually over the Leyenda.
But this right here, that extra Viejo and Vietnam, I can't do it. Can't do it.
Why? I've had that before too.
I've drank so much of it, and there's so much better rum. It just it doesn't even taste good no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. And listen, and another thing, hey, Enrico, you and Troy need to get together, right?
Okay.
And invite some brothers out. You know, some brothers who are about their business, man, and have like every year or every, you know what I'm saying, whatever time you go, because Troy is always there. And have like, you know what I'm saying, set it up where the brothers can go. You could charge a fee, it's okay. Guys who got their stuff together, they don't mind paying, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Paying for your time and all that, you know what I mean?
Right. And you know what? I'm glad you said that, because the crazy part about it is, like I said, as I've been, it's like I try, but it's just like, you know, it's like like Troy. Like Troy's there 24/7. We got a little spot up in Santo Domingo. You know what I'm saying? We
right.
You know, and it's just like, you know, the right type of people. Like I said, when we were there, and I linked up with Razor, Razor, like, who the fuck now, you know. And nigga be like, oh, Razor. I'm like, that nigga was with me. I wasn't with him.
Right.
He was with me on my dime under my coverage, because we like to do nice shit.
And then on top of that, and then on top of that,
yeah.
And then on top of that too, right? Listen, I just like being around some grown ass men. At the end of the day, I can learn some shit from. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to kick it, bro. I don't kick it. I don't go out to kick it. It got to be about business. I want to learn something from you. You can learn something from me. You can say, you know what? Listen, bro, this is what I'm trying to do. We can put this together. We can get something going. That's it. I don't want to kick it.
I tell you the truth. We're gonna sit down. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna do that, because to be honest with you, I'm talking about, it's just like trying to carve out the right people with the right mindset. It's like, okay, I don't want to invite a bunch of people down and they just on that bowdy shit. It's like, come on, bro. Really?
Wait a minute, guys. I get that part, and I do respect that from you gentlemen. But at the same time, you are in a Caribbean country. You gotta have a little fun, man. Even the Japanese and Chinese businessmen, when they come over here, they are strict with business. But when business
we're gonna have some fun. No, we're gonna have some fun. No, B.O.B. Come on, we're gonna have some fun about it. Exactly. That's all I'm trying to
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the international sign,
you
baby.
Just ain't gonna know about it.
That's it. That's it.
It's unnecessary, because, like I said, it's just so. I'm a happily married man. We be doing Bible study, okay, publicly, right? But at
we
the
call
end
it
of
church.
The day, but at the end of the day, it's like, oh man, and we like to see different parts of the island. I want to live and die no motherfucking Sosua, bro. We went to Nagua, man.
Nagua's nice.
There are parts of that fucking island that will literally blow your mind.
Nagua got some certified baddies. I'm telling you.
I got family there. So the female I was dealing with in Jersey, she from Nagua. Her brother still hit me to this day and all that. Yeah, so I know. Yeah, 100%.
So
but I don't know. I never went to the beach over there. Did y'all see the beaches in Nagua? I slid through.
We would. Razor
nice?
got all the footage.
So the
Razor
beaches they're decent.
Razor got hours of footage.
Man, I don't watch that food channel.
But I'm just saying, because I wanted to say, I said, I want to go to Las Terrenas. I want to go to Sosua because I had never been to Sosua. All right, brother. And I wanted to go all these places. So he was in town. I was like, you want to go with us? Yes or no? God, no, it was like, just jump in the car. I got you. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't go nowhere on nickels. I'm going to have some money when I go or I'm not going. So that was my plan. And we went to all these places, bro. And I was like, man, get you some footage. And I've been telling him, like, put it up. He's like, I don't want to put it up. I was like, okay, well, you don't have to. But for me, when I go and I see these places and these things and these venues and these events, it's for me. I don't have no channel. I'm not getting footage to come back and show a bunch of thirsty niggas nothing. Either you want to, I mean, y'all ain't paying. Even if you paying me, you can't pay me enough for that. And I enjoy the people. I enjoy the experience, the event. And I would like to sit there. I show it to my kids when I get back. And that's why they travel all the time. I'm like, go check this out. Go check that out. Go look at this. Go look at that. And it's not, a bunch of fucking women. There are women there because you can't avoid them. You know that. If you've been to the DR, it's like women everywhere. Beautiful, gorgeous, sexy, women everywhere. And it's just like you just really have a really, really, really good time. You're on your best behavior. People are very friendly. They're very accommodating. When we was in Nagua, I was like, oh, fuck this. Next time we come through here, we got to stay here a couple of days. Fuck Santo Domingo. You know what I'm saying? And I love Santo Domingo. Outside of Punta Cana, I'm being honest with you. To me, Santo Domingo is my number one spot. The only thing I don't like about Santo Domingo is the traffic.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That traffic is insane. But, and it's the capital city, 11 million people in the country, like 3 or 4 million of them live in Santo Domingo. So if you can deal with that, you can deal with everything else. I like Punta Cana better because it just is fewer people, more spread out, and it has more amenities, more closer to the U.S. The North Coast, they just don't have enough up there for me.
I get it. And again, for me to put on my my
counselor. Come on, counselor.
Look, the North Coast is for what it's for, and it does what it does. It'll always be necessary until they change up the situation over there. So, I mean, there's guys that don't get to actually spend a lot of time in those areas, and they like to go and do what they do and get up out of town. And I understand that, whether we agree with it or not.
Right. But the thing about it is when the North Coast, which I honest to God believe the North Coast will soon be gentrified. Because I'm like that. When I look up there, I was like, man, there's some money to be made up here. And not all that nickel and dime, penny ante stuff. I'm talking about like large scale developers. And they're going to gentrify. You look at, say, any major city in America that once used to be, that, say it was majority Black, majority Hispanic, majority Asian, downtrodden, depressed. They let the property values go real down to the bottom. Then they come in, we're going to buy it all for pennies on the dollar, and then we're going to raise this shit and we develop it. Oh, we're going to put a stadium here. We're going to put this here. We're going to put that there. And all of a sudden, all this development come, and now it's worth billions of dollars. That's what I think they're going to do with the North Coast, because they have some awesome beaches, great waterfront property, and it's just soon to come. A funny thing about it is, which I have to shout out Mr. Flip Flop. My best experience in Sosua was at his bar. I say fuck the rest of Sosua outside of his bar. To me, because they was always giving me a hard time. Oh, Rika, you ain't never been here. Well, now I've been there. And my opinion of the place before I got there is the same. Who I need to apologize to is Flip Flop. because, and it's not just the bar, it was his staff. The way that they made me feel, they treated me, I will never for a million years. I tell everybody, I'm like, Flip Flop Sports Bar, welcome to Flip Flop. I love that shit because that was the first time in the DR I felt like I got American customer service. So I take my hat off to Flip Flop because he trained his staff well. They serviced me and Razor very well. And I will never have anything bad to say about him, his customer service, his restaurant, his food, or anything until it happens to me. But that was my, and like I said, I'm a foodie. I'm very particular. The other places we had been up there, we was up there for a couple of days. Bailey's, I thought was trash. Razor took us somewhere else, I thought was trash. I was like, nah, I don't fucking Flip Flops. And it fucked up, but it was the best. But it was good. But everywhere else, you know, the restaurants and bars on the beach, beautiful beach. Sosua Beach is gorgeous. So I tell everybody the beach itself is very wonderful, pretty, scenic, all that. But you know, and I got all the content. You know, Razor did the live. We was at the beach getting fucked up. So I was like, I've seen it. If I ever go back to Sosua, it will be specifically to go back to Flip Flops. You know, first. I want to go to his bar because that was the best. So I'm a hard ass, but I have to say that, you know, I didn't do wings and waffles. So, you know, people tell me that that's good. So I have to try that out. But Flip Flop was good to go. And the other places, I'm be honest with you, we went to Bailey's twice. I wasn't impressed either time. I don't know who owned it. I don't give a fuck. I'm not shitting on it. I'm not saying it's trash. I'm just saying I'll never go back again. It just was, I wasn't impressed. Food, I didn't see any talent. And then I will say, when we were out that night, me and Razor was out a couple of nights. And I mean, you know, we throwing them back. We getting fucked up, you know, because he is big of a drunk as I am. We drinking our beers. And you got the little lot lizards walking around at night. And, you know, if you're not careful, you know, you got to keep your eye on your wallet. You know, they grabbing you all in your nether regions and whatnot. And if you like that, that's fine. But if you're not used to it, you know, because I had never been there before. So I'm realizing like, oh shit, let me watch my wallet. Because, you know, these motherfuckers, they look like they're trying to pickpocket you, you know, and then I'm walking past some of them and like, I have no interest, but you know, they grabbing you where they grabbing you at, right? And I was just like, oh, this is the shit they talking about. We don't get that in Punta Cana. I've never got that in Santo Domingo. You know what I'm saying? Well,
it happens a little bit in Boca Chica, a little bit.
Boca Chica, maybe. And I would say that even if you go to Santo Domingo, it's where you go. So, like when I go to Santo Domingo, have you ever been to Paris? And I've never been to Mixers, but I've been to Paris Club. So, like, even when I go to Santo Domingo, I go to like the nice lounges, you know, and I do. I've done Avenida Venezuela, which is the main strip where all the nice clubs at. But you don't get a lot of the, you know, the chica. They're chic. Here's the thing. All of these clubs are full of chicas. But for whatever reason, it's like they got chica rules there. And when, like you say, whether it's Boca Chica or Sosua, they don't give a fuck about the chica rules. They just gonna manhandle your ass. So that's a little bit, you know, if you like that, that's fine. If you're not used to it, it's a little bit off-putting.
Let me read some of these comments real quick.
Go ahead.
AC said, I don't know about that, bro. These white guys pay a lot for that chocolate. Plus, white guys love the Afro Colombianos too. Most of the pros they have are Venezuelan. It's a fact. Shout out to the Blus book gentleman. JP, I don't know what that means. I agree with that, bro. Not a large amount of Afro Latinos selling box. It's just the optics. You can go there and see it. Take a study and see it. It's not a lot. They're there, but it's not as much as everybody else. There's a new video on YouTube indicating that DR immigration is going in the bars, and it's just who are taking the Haitian girls. Okay,
Yeah,
so they're there.
They're there, but on that.
Yeah, they're there, but they're not. Again, they're not as
they're not desired.
They're not. No, they're there. They're making money. They're just not as much as.
Read James Posey. They're not desired. Simple.
I disagree.
But that's what it seems.
But I disagree. But again, I'm not every guy, and
right.
maybe the statistics may be different. I don't know.
And that's what I'm saying is I think you see, like, if I'm trying to sell cookies and I sit out on the corner every day trying to sell cookies and ain't nobody buying them, I stop going to that fucking corner. It just I don't know. I could be dead wrong, but that was. I one thing is, I know we colorists before I ever left the country. I'm like, and you can do the survey in Cincinnati, bro. Black people, because we're conditioned. There is a degree of color, even among black people. Everybody, oh, she fine, she a red bone. You know what I'm saying? We put more importance. We don't equalize our women. If you had 10 black women, the lighter skinned women will be looked at more favorably than the darker skinned women. If the beauty was the same, they were all gorgeous. It would just lean that way, and that speaks to the colorism. It's subconscious, is what I'm saying, B.O.
Maybe it is, and maybe it does exist, but I don't think. I really just don't think that it's that type of game. I think it's just, look, if she's fine, if she's fine, people gonna go with it.
So
if she ain't fine, people ain't gonna go with it.
So you got a 10 and she black as hell, and you got 10 and you got a 10. Yep. She black as hell with curly hair, and you got a 10 and she light skinned with straight hair. 10 out of 10 guys gonna pick which one.
That's hard, man. That's hard because that's hard to say. I'm gonna say that's hard. I can't answer that because it depends. It'll come down to semantics, like
right. But your argument is if she fine. I'm like, they're both
10 out of 10. Well, 10 out of 10. Are you saying black guys are gonna pick out of those two, or
all men?
Guys?
All men, girl, literally.
Then they're gonna pick the light skinned one more because you're adding white men to it. You're adding Asian men to it.
If it was all black men, because what I'm saying is subconsciously our beauty standards, which is a subconscious thing.
But you just said she's beautiful. So what's the problem?
No, because our beauty standard, part of our beauty standard is that fucking light to white skin.
Blue Book
is seen as more beautiful than darker skin. That's all I'm saying. Shit. You could get 10 niggas from Africa that would do that, which is fucked up.
I mean, look, I'm a be counselor again now.
Oh,
here we go. I'm a be counselor again and say, sir, you should not be making those arguments when you have a lady that is of the light-skinned persuasion.
Okay.
Yeah, they go what I'm saying. That's like Tate Diggums. That's like Tate Diggs talking about he pro-black. Yeah. Cuba Gooding Jr. having an argument with us, and that's crazy. But I did
come out and I openly admitted that, hey, I suffer. And that's why I'm making the argument is that I know. Now here's the funny thing about it is, or not even funny thing about it is, I'll say this in my defense. I've been married 3 times. 2 times to black women, 1 time to a Hispanic woman.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a baby mama that's darker than my fucking t-shirt. I just like pussy.
Jesus Christ! I thought
That's
you was
all
a
I'm just trying to say.
I thought you
Of
was a
all shades.
Christian.
But you know, I understand how from my position, I'm like, they be like, how you currently I need to shut the fuck up. But if you look back in my history and see my children and my grandchildren, you're like, all my children are black. Unambiguous. I don't have no mixed race kids. None. I only got a bunch of them little motherfuckers.
Rico, you brought up something. You brought up a particular YouTuber's name, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your whole
What name did I bring up?
I'm gonna tell you, when you and Peso was doing your thing, you were definitely justified in a lot of the things you guys were doing. You never heard no arguments out of me. But there's a guy that is you just mentioned he was in Kenya and all this other stuff.
Austin. Okay.
But he was pretty much one of the biggest people saying negative things about women back in the States, right?
Yes.
And have not had any significant relationships in his travels, right? But he still said he says that you know, he went on what's her name, Tasha K, whatever her name is.
Shitting on him yesterday. He always shitting on him. But go ahead.
So it's you know, I think at this point we need to point out. I think we're moved past that. There's less and less guys doing it, which is good, because a lot of them were a lot of guys were scared of what you or Peso was going to say or do about them or find about them, right? And
Okay.
so there's a movement away from that. But like the brother Money Travel said, he said, you know, let's get back to that space. Yeah, you can have a female on your joint, but you know what I'm saying, let's learn something from these females about where they're at, right? And I get that. And I'm not gonna sit here and say that I was a saint in my channel, my previous videos. Yeah, I've done things like that. But I definitely moved away from it to the point I moved away from it to the detriment of my channel, where I was losing people because I wasn't
talking about it no more.
Talking about it or putting shorties up and doing all that. But I definitely did. But I matured and I said, you know, this is not what my goal was going out overseas. You know, my goal.
And my question is, do you feel better about yourself?
I'm gonna keep it all the way funky with everybody. For I feel good, but I do feel like I definitely destroyed some of my channel because I wasn't doing what they were doing, you know, showing ladies. And what I could say, and there will definitely be people that will say otherwise, but I wasn't dealing in the pro circuit. I'm dealing with regular women, and anybody that has traveled with me, right? Any of the guys that have traveled with me, from Czech to everybody else, Charlie Boy, all the YouTubers that I've come into contact with, they know what I say is real. I don't deal with the pro circuit like that. Have I? Yes. But I'm dealing with regular women on a daily basis in DR, Colombia, Salvador, Brazil, a little bit in Rio. But, you know, it's cool. There is going to always be that space of guys traveling out just for certain things, right? I think that's something that's not going to go away. And I think from what you guys were saying is, okay, if you're going to do that, be quiet, do what you got to do, get up out of town, and stop talking about the women at home. That's understandable. But to bring it full circle to what we got going on here, when there is this toxicity that I keep telling you about, but you don't believe it, how does men
bringing it back to Diddy?
Somewhat.
Bring it back to Diddy.
I just think that at some point it is blatant to see how it's hard to be a man in America and hard to enjoy being a man. At this point,
here's the deal. Okay, you know what the problem is all the time they latch on to the wrong messenger.
Okay,
you can't latch on to Diddy.
No,
you can't. But that's what they're celebrating. They're celebrating he beat the case. Convicted of the Mann Act. He wasn't convicted of the RICO. He wasn't convicted of the the sex trafficking. He was only convicted of the Mann Act, right? And I'm like, if you're making the issue about male issues, dating issues, Diddy is not the hill that you want to die on. You can there are so many other people. And the thing is, they jump out the window. They make these celebrity causes. So I'm like, even if you looked at a celebrity cause, I think it would have been better to say, I don't know if you remember the brother Jesse Williams. Remember him, the actor. He's a celebrity actor. You can look his name up. He was married and divorced. And he was married to a sister or something of like that. So I was like, there are better options and choices that they could choose to pick, but they picked the worst ones. They picked the worst ones. So it's like, why would you pick Diddy? Somebody who did what he did. So if anybody look up Jesse Williams, he's a little biracial boy, yeah, and he's a much better example of somebody in the space that there are lots of people in the space that they could have argued and defended, but they always pick the worst one. Now, of course, Jesse Williams wasn't convicted of no crime. He wasn't, like I said, he wasn't going to jail. He wasn't doing any of this stuff. So, of course, he was somebody that in the space, they would have all want to hoop and holler, simp, 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 simp. I'm like, but he's the guy that you could have championed. You didn't want to do that because I think he was going through the thing about like custody of his kids and things like that. But they don't do that. They pick the worst of the worst. And then I'm like, that's why you lose the fight. I'm like,
so who would you say is the worst out of this passport movement? Who would you say is the worst of the worst?
In the space?
In the space.
I always have and I always will resort to the creators in my generation.
The OGs.
Yeah, because I just think that they should know better. I just do. I certainly don't like the young cats, but I'm like, okay, they're young. I'll give them an excuse. So if you in your 20s, like I said, Austin's an idiot, but he's 20. He's entitled to be an idiot because he's 20. I was an idiot at 20. But the OGs that's in their 50s and 60s and out here, so whether it's the Zoom, whether it's the tailor-made, I'm like, y'all ain't got no fucking excuse. Y'all know better. Y'all know better. And that's just where I always land at it. And I try to tell people, I'm like, you can like them, you don't like them. I don't care. I think that these men are men of an age and wisdom that they're supposed to know better. And if they're out here and they're not practicing and moving like that and giving bad advice, I got a problem with it.
Okay.
They shouldn't be giving that advice. They're not talking to me, so they're talking to me. I can call them on their bullshit. But if me at my age, if I'm sitting there talking to a bunch of 20-year-olds that don't know about it, and they be like, OG, it's like, then it's that what they call authority bias. People think you have wisdom because of age, and all of them don't have wisdom.
Damn, that's tough.
All of them don't got wisdom. Come on, BLB. All of them ain't wise.
Come on, girl. No.
All of them ain't wise.
No.
You know it.
Some of them have some gems to drop, but others don't. I get it. But it.
You got old fools like young fools.
Yeah.
Dang. You got old fools like young fools.
The Passport Bro Show on Pro Space is basically dead. So that's a good John Davies salute. So is Is it really dead? The travel and show chicas, is it really dead? Uh, as John Davies is saying, do you think that the views are going down? Because I still don't understand how a certain person in Thailand still has a channel that's really ran by his corn like we eat star girlfriend, right?
Travelversity?
Yeah, that's your cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is. I even think his views are dying. I think they are. The funny thing about it, I think last time I saw, I think he was in Africa. So that's what's funny to me.
He can't go nowhere. He couldn't run a channel without her.
Ooh,
It
shit.
wouldn't work if it was just him. Let me see.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
wouldn't
come
work.
on. You know he would be dead in the water without Lucky.
That's a challenge to Travelversity. Anybody that listens to anybody that sees this, that watches him, you tell him to BLB challenge him to make 10 videos without Lucky in the videos and see what his numbers do. That's the challenge.
He wouldn't get 10 views without her.
Let's see if he could do it. Wait, my brother said his puta wife.
He wouldn't get 10, and then it's funny
man.
because he put his boy on Malcolm Grinnell, and he got him a little one, right? But it was funny. I'm like, and the same thing with Zoom. Zoom get all his off of L. He get all his off of feeding L. I was like, y'all, they pimps. They Diddy. They YouTube Diddy. It's the same thing. So that's why I said this. Y'all come, you come on here, counselor, defending Diddy, and they Diddy.
I'm not defending Diddy per se, but I'm definitely defending.
The same as P. Diddy, who just beat the case. It's the same shit. It's the
intent. The exploitation is not there unless there's consent. It's intent, and consent is what my argument will always be. I can't. If she don't want to be there, she won't be there.
But that's not. That's not the point. The point of the matter.
You can't ignore that though, because intent has to matter.
Okay. But Travelversity with Lucky, power dynamic is the same power dynamic. Is Diddy? He might as well been Diddy to her, and she might well be Cassie.
Nah, that's so. Diddy was Diddy before Cassie even came through.
No, but what I'm sitting there saying is the power dynamic between the two.
Okay, I got that part.
The power dynamic between the two is night and day difference. And you can't tell me it's not the same.
I would have to disagree because Diddy can still be Diddy and still make money without Cassie there.
And what the bottom line is, he's sitting there, he's being Diddy off of
his legacy.
Legacy. No. I'm talking about Travelversity. He's being Diddy off of I think he's getting some sort of disability. He's getting the military disability shit, right? So that's what they're living off of. So he does all the going to this country, going to that country, going to this country. That's all off of military disability. That's what a lot of them are doing. Remember, that's what Tom and all them was doing. Is they're all on this 100% disability, getting $4,000 or $5,000 a month. I'm a combat vet, right? That's what all of it is.
Them niggas was logistics, bro. They wasn't combat, bro.
Right.
Niggas.
But they write the paperwork exactly.
Yeah.
He'll cook, whatever. He'll cook, yard guy, whatever, right? And put some respect on my name. I was a supply sergeant too. Okay, put some respect on logistics, right? So but I ain't never claimed no combat vet or no shit like that. But they do that. They get all this money. And the thing is, I hate to say it, the U.S. government is printing money. I'm not gonna say that those guys don't deserve it if they was in a combat environment. So they're printing money, they're giving him money, and that's what he's going around run. So for him, for somebody to Thailand, he comes off almost like a Diddy to them. Think about it. $5,000 a month to somebody that's making $200, $300 a month.
Bro, that's Travelversity. Right there, bro.
That's
got all them. Nah. That's that movie. I'm gonna get you.
Oh, yeah.
When he had all those medals, and they was like, "Yo, this is for typing." I don't, for the vets, for all the vets, bro. I'm sorry, I don't mean to disrespect nobody's service.
Vet. Okay,
everybody's service is valuable.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I just don't think you should be getting full pension for being a secretary. Right. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
They call that false valor. This, that, whatever. what I'm saying is he, yeah, and that's wild. So when you sit there and you ask about it, I'm like, he wouldn't get 10 views without her.
Nah, not at all. We all know that. The world knows that. So here is my challenge again. Rico, you hear this. I challenge this nigga to a Harry Potter reading book. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not.
I challenge him.
Yeah.
We'll put stacks on the line. If you maintain 20K views with just you, we'll put some stacks on the line. I'll pay up. 10 videos, just you, no Lucky, no shorties, just you.
Excuse me. 5,000 views. He's not going to get it. Because even the crazy thing about it is, even with her, the content is trash. But
that's fine.
Seriously. But the fact of the matter is, it's like, you know what people are watching the video for. It's not.
They seen her mixtape. They seen that.
But even with her in the video, the content is not compelling. It's not informative. It's not anything. It's like, we're walking up a hill. I'm so tired. Like, what the fuck is she saying? You know, it's like nobody knows. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. You're like, and he walk around. Lucky said she's tired. Lucky said she's tired. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Lucky said she's tired. She said she's tired. It's hard. She said she's tired. Like,
the brown liquor baron does not condone this message. I have nothing to do with my guest.
That's all I'm saying is the content itself is exhausting, tired. There's nothing to the content, but I know why they looking, and it is unmistakable that she's sitting there pronouns in a bikini or some shit on every thumbnail. So it's like, come on, bro.
Every thumbnail. Let's take a look. I'm gonna take a look. Let's take a look.
Every thumbnail.
Let's do this. How do you spell that name?
T is like Travelversity, like Travel University. Like, motherfucker, you ain't teaching nobody nothing.
Let's check this. I think I did this before where we checked the thumbnail.
It's like, bro, come on.
All right. Come on. So, here we go with the thumbnails, guys.
It just is crazy.
Here we go. Let's do it. Let's take a deep dive into the thumbnails.
I'm right. Look, there's Kenya. Who's at the thumbnail?
Lucky is Lucky.
Go to the next one, Lucky.
Lucky's cheeks.
The next one.
Lucky's cheeks. Lucky and some girls' cheeks.
Come on down. Cheeks.
Lucky. Cheeks.
Come on down. Cheeks.
Oh man.
Lucky.
Cheeks.
Come on, bro.
In a bikini. Cheeks everywhere. Gotta show the cheeks on that one.
Come on, bro.
Oh man.
Ain't nobody watching his ass.
Oh man, he did one video that did 17,000 views with him and right here.
Oh yeah, that's because that was the earthquake. Everybody was doing. Everybody views around the earthquake was that.
Okay, all right. So everybody we get back to
in Thailand because that was when the earthquake hit and the buildings fell. Everybody was watching Thailand.
Let's get back to the regularly scheduled programming of More Cheeks.
I'm just literally telling you.
That's tough.
You know without a doubt. And if you go to his boy channel, Malcolm Grinnell, it's the same thing. He got the little skinny looking fucking chick. Same thing. and who
Oh
latched on
man.
to him to try
Oh
to get
man.
his growth. It's the same thing.
So you saying people catching on to his antics, or they
I don't
tune
think
into because
they
they
catching on.
love the cheeks?
I just think they go in there because they love the cheeks. That's it. I don't put it like this. At this point, I don't think anybody's fooled by the antics.
God, I don't know how his thumbnails are not stricken. How
Yeah.
he gets no strikes on his thumbnails. That's
I don't think
amazing.
anybody's fooled by his tactics. I just think in this space is full of thirsty Negroes. What did you sit there and say? No, I tell you a perfect example, right? And I'll be careful.
Every
When you
thumbnail,
finish
man.
showing, I'm gonna tell you about somebody else who was
Damn.
very big on videos, who had crazy views, and their thumbnails was fired, had their channel stricken down, and now they struggling trying to come back. They were like 10 times bigger than him. Yeah, you see? Go ahead, find one.
I mean, he's got out of probably seeing a hundred or so. There's probably four or five without
Exactly. He
the
knows.
numbers.
He ain't stupid. He ain't stupid.
Yeah.
He know how he eating. But you ever watch my boy?
She should file a lawsuit.
Shit, dumbass. Let me ask you a question, BLB. You ever follow my man Kalo K?
Yeah. He does the same thing.
And you know he got his shit struck down. Now he's struggling. He ain't got 1,000 subs no more.
Oh man.
Because you know he lost his channel. He's back, and he's trying to do the same thing. The same old Thurston. You know, him, Pudo, KBS, all of them. You know, and which I take my hat off to Kalo K. He didn't do creek camming, but the fact of the matter is it's the same narrative. It's the same narrative. What can I push to try to get traction, to try to get views, to try to get attention? And it's if that's the route you want to go, then you go on ahead. But like right now, but he never had no content other than the views. When I looked at all his stuff, it was just all thirsting. So it's like,
Let's see what is Kalo K doing now? Let's see what he's doing.
Halo K TV. It's just all thirsting. So what's the point?
And what trips me out, I met Kalo K. So what trips me out about Kalo K TV is this.
Because I had talked to him before. I met him when I was there, and the nigga act like he was a superstar. So I was like, okay, that's why your shit got took. Because you thought you was somebody that you ain't.
Kalo K, right?
Mm. Well, you know, he a Zoe. You know, he a Zoe.
Right. So that's what trips me out is because,
Right.
you know, during the time of everything happening with the Haitian folks and I didn't see him come out and say anything
He
about
say shit about the Haitians. He don't give a fuck about the Haitians.
Nah.
He feel like he Haitian American. I'm exempt, right? So that was the thing that was funny about it was because I was there and I saw him and I just spoke to him. I was like, hey, you know, I just wanted to shake his hand, say, hey, just whatever. He looked at me like I was a piece of shit. I said, this nigga think he a real celebrity.
Nah, he was cool. I didn't have no smoke with him.
No, I didn't have no smoke with him. It was just the vibe, the energy, you know. So I saw him. I was gonna buy him a drink.
You know who was like that? I don't know if you remember.
Like, all right,
there was a dude.
I'm like, I'm good. You gonna say shit?
Who was the skinny kid? The skinny kid that they used to watch. Jesus Christ! This was around the pandemic time. Skinny kid named
Skinny.
Prestige something.
Oh yeah, Prestige Physique.
Yeah, he was like that. He was a little weird when you met him, like a little.
Yeah, he was.
You know,
he was real
he
heavy.
acted like he was too good.
Yeah, he was heavy in Colombia, right?
He was heavy in DR for a while. I think he went to Colombia and Brazil.
He was heavy in Colombia. I remember him. Yeah, he was the little weird kid. Him.
Yeah.
Then what's the other guy? Global Cheesy.
I don't know him.
And then it's a couple of them that's just out here that's just like super weird because you know who I'm dying to meet. I am dying. I am trying everything under the sun.
Who, BMT? So he can whoop your
Oh,
ass?
yeah, him. I want to meet um not him. Um Giamo. You never met Giamo?
No, I don't think Big J likes him.
The phone. Um Giamo. I never met him. Trey said he met him. I want to meet Giamo. Giamo, is his last name Carter? Is his last name Carter? You don't know Giamo? Giamo.
I know who you're talking about. Big J don't like him.
Why? He met him?
His content in Sasua saying finding love in Sasua, all that type of gas was what I think turned Big J off because he was
What,
giving
that was trash?
He's just saying that, you know, making people believe that Sasua is a place where you can find love and
But shit, but I got called my boy Jay out. Shit, Flip said that too, right?
Nah. Flip says
Yes, he
don't
did.
catch.
No.
Flip says don't catch flights. He says catch flights, not feelings.
No. Flip did a video, and I would say it to Flip. That's my guy. He was upset one day about something. You know how when Flip get mad, right?
Big J called him. He called them on the spectrum.
He got mad. Flip got mad about something, and I saw the video, but he took it down, and he was like, "All these bitches in Sasua ain't blah 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 blah," and I was like, "Okay." So I'm an outsider. I'm just watching. And somebody said he got pressure. So I don't know. I'm not gonna put that on Flip. But I know it was before he had been upset about something. Remember the time he got mad about that nigga Dean Cole? Yep. Remember Dean Cole? And he went and so I was like, I haven't met Flip. So I'll tell everybody, to be for pure transparency's sake, I have not had a chance. When I went to Sasua, I was hoping I was going to meet him. I went to his bar. I didn't get a chance to meet him. I was hoping I would. And again, I say 1,000 times over, I think that's the fucking best bar on the North Coast. I think what him and his staff did. But I was just saying was like, just all this I learned from just like I'm doing right now, BLB, sitting here watching YouTube. So when somebody just, even when Jay would get upset and he would put out a video, it's like, okay, you put that shit out, you can take it down, but you can't take that shit back, right? So everybody talk about the shit me and Peso says, like, nigga, I ain't taking it back because I said it. I can't take it back. Yeah. It's not up there no more, but somebody got a copy somewhere of some shit I said, and I can't take it back.
I'll tell you one thing, Flip and Big J don't care. Them boys don't care about none of that.
Which is cool. So that's why I said I rock with them. And that's why I said I'm not saying anything like at them. And Jay, my guy, right? So I'm not saying anything at them. I'm not saying anything that I wouldn't say, to them, or anything like that. Because like I said, they said the funny thing about it was when Jay first got mad at me and Peso, it wasn't even about Jay. We never went at Jay.
Yes, y'all did.
No. He got mad at us because we went after Philly Dom.
Y'all said something. No. I think y'all had CC on the channel, and CC was calling Jay all types of
CC might have been
words and all of that.
Okay. CC might have been, but that wasn't when he came up and jumped on our head. It was because we was making fun of Philly Dom. And you know why we was making fun of Philly Dom?
Why? Because of the kid thing?
Yes. And it was like, Jay, you mad at us for calling him out, but we didn't do it. You know what happened, right? Philly Dom woke up and had a horrible day. I was like, nigga, somebody should have took your phone from you. And he decided, I'm gonna go do a live, and I'm gonna walk down the street, and I'm going to complain about child support. This was. Did you ever see that?
I didn't see it. I heard about it. I didn't see it.
I swear to God. So while he walking in the street complaining about child support, he's literally telling his subscribers, because people copy this shit. You know what they do? They download and copy it. And he's literally telling his subscribers, man, I'm trying to do this YouTube thing. I'm not getting enough support from y'all. My baby mother says she need more support. She said I'm not giving her enough money. So I need y'all to give me more money so I can pay her more child support. Right? This is what he said out his mouth. So we took this like, nigga, are you serious? You asking your subs to give you money to help you pay your child support.
I mean, is it any worse than somebody asking for his subs to give him money to buy one more chica?
No, it's no worse. All you motherfuckers is sorry. You see what I'm saying? I'm like, me and Peso is like, all you niggas ain't shit.
Man, I'm so glad I didn't come across y'all radar, bro.
Ain't none of you niggas shit.
I would have definitely had to fight y'all. I would have been hunting all of y'all, bro. I would have been looking up every registry of every name to try to find everybody. I'm telling you.
I'm literally saying, no, you know worse than that nigga. He ain't shit and you ain't shit either. It just isn't. And then when Jay came on, he was mad because he's like, that's my friend. I was like, I don't care that's your friend. Your friend ain't shit. Because see, this is the part that made me mad was I was like, Philly Dom said he got an 8-year-old child in Belize. I didn't know all this. He told all this on the live. He told all, like, Jay, why you mad at us? He told us this shit on the live. I got an 8-year-old kid in Belize. She said I ain't paying her enough. He walking like this, doing this shit, right? Like, nigga, you want me to feel sorry? You a grown ass fucking man. You got an 8-year-old child in a third world country. Nigga,
that's when he was crying, right? He was
yes.
crying. Yeah.
Yes. Nigga, go back to the States, work a fucking job, and support your fucking child. The fuck is you sitting there talking? No, we don't feel sorry for you. I was a single father, BLB. Fuck no, nobody felt sorry for me. I had to eat it. I didn't get to do YouTube, nigga. I had to go work, nigga. So I'm the wrong motherfucker to sit there and cry in front of. And he did it. Because he thought he was going to get. And maybe he did. But guess what? If you decide you're going to get in this box, you and I know we got to take the criticism that come with it, right?
And I think that's what this passport bro movement really didn't understand. And I think there's a lot of people, you got those conversations of, people pocket watching or people not minding their business. I'm like, bro, you putting it on YouTube, bro. Like, the world needs to understand as a whole, like, everything we do. And we're seeing this, Rico, fellas, we're seeing this with the athletes. We're seeing this with the NBA players. The NBA players starting their podcasts and they want all good news and good comments. But that fame, it comes with criticism. It comes with criticism. I had to deal with criticism and people saying things in the comments. When people say things in the comments, man, it annoys me. But I had to grow and get rid of it because I can't be mad at everybody. Because I definitely will be chasing everybody. I'm telling Rico, I have a network of people. I'll be chasing everybody. I could die just like everyone else. I can get beat up just like everybody else. But I'm definitely going, look, let's meet. Let's meet up. Let's do this. If you feel that strongly, let's meet up. And 9 times out of 10, whenever I have these offline conversations with people, it's a good conversation and we we ain't on that no more. But
Yep.
if I
Real
did,
talk.
I'm gonna tell you this though. If I, the BLB, do something or portray myself in a light where I'm wrong and people come at me, I can't be mad at that part. It's just the knucklehead comments like CC and them calling people the P word or saying things you don't know without no evidence. Now that's crazy. That's slander. And in fact, I believe that kid CC got lucky because at least you guys were trafficking some truths. Now, Peso Man did throw some things out there that wasn't true, right?
Yeah, we thought a lot of salacious shit.
Right.
We
now
would.
you can be
all the
be
time.
found guilty of defamation of character and be in the court of law, right? And so CC was throwing out that P word, which holds, and this is why Big J don't like him. You don't throw that P word. You're saying that somebody's engaging in acts with a minor or have engaged in acts with a minor. Like my boss could see that, or their boss or family could see that, and that's defamation of character. So I'm all for people going after him for that and suing
The
him.
only thing I saw him, for me, and I'm just saying just for me, the only thing I recall him throwing on Jay was the physical assault thing. He made the claim that Jay assaulted, but I ain't seen no evidence of it, so I don't believe it. So
no
I'm
paperwork.
gonna believe whatever Jay says. Right. I don't see no evidence of it. But he insinuated that Jay put his hands, and I'm like, okay, he wouldn't be, if he did, he wouldn't be the first motherfucker. I'm not saying it's okay. I don't think that shit's cool, but I need a little bit more than you just saying it.
Yeah.
Like
when the Miko stuff came out, people were saying stuff about Miko, and then we found out that it was the truth.
And I still don't have no evidence that shit's true.
It's in the courts. Somebody pulled the paperwork from Atlanta.
Well, but what throws me off about it is everybody keeps saying that, and I'm just like, but I've seen Miko. And hear me out. Again, I don't know this motherfucker. I ain't never met him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And people keep saying that about Miko. It's like, but Miko said something that this makes me think. It's like Miko said, well, if I did some child shit, I'm like, this thing is still traveling. How is he still going to? He in the DR now.
They scooped him up from Colombia and took him back to the States.
My question is, if he was found guilty of doing something with some youngsters,
mm-hmm.
how the fuck is he in the DR now,
bro?
That's what do you see what I'm saying?
As far as the United States, or as far as the Dominican people?
If he was found guilty anywhere, I would think there would be some sort of blockage.
Well, there was a plea. He pled, right?
So
he pled to like a certain charge.
Where did he plead to? In the U.S.?
He pled in the U.S. He pled to a charge of something.
But here's the thing: is like Colombia, right? That's your spot.
No, that's not my spot. That's just one of the spots I like to go.
Okay, well, one of the spots, right? The last I heard, the mayor.
Oh, he has a German passport. There you go.
Okay, well, I don't know, but I'm saying the last I heard, like the mayor of Medellin was blocking motherfuckers from coming in that had SA charges, even in the U.S.
But that happened
when
recently.
They hit the database, they turn around and send your ass back.
That happened recently. All that movement was within the last 3 years. Miko was over there early, like 2021, 2020.
No. I'm saying like in the DR, that nigga there now.
I'm talking about Colombia. As far as Colombia. But in DR, as far as DR, man, DR is a place, man. DR is a place where they just, man, you can pay your way out of everything. You pay the families. A baseball player just got convicted of dealing with a minor.
And got probation.
You dig deep into that story.
And got probation.
It was somebody in his family that asked for an absorbent amount of money. He said no, and then they went to court.
Yeah,
that's
how
DR.
And that girl was 14, and he got probation. Yeah, so Wanda Franco.
Yep.
Wander Franco played for the Tampa Bay Rays in the Major League Baseball League. He'll never play baseball again, thank God. We ain't letting no.
You think so?
Nah. Because he'll never be able to get a visa to come back into the United States again. Yeah. See, in the U.S., once you do a crime of immorality, they'll never give him a visa again. So they've already said that he lost 180 something million dollars that he'll never see because he'll never be permitted back in the U.S. So he'll never be able to play Major League Baseball again. And I don't think he'll get to go to Japan. So the top two baseball leagues are MLB in the U.S. and the Japanese Baseball League. And I don't think he's going to be able to ever be in either one. Now he's only
Dominican League. The Dominican League.
They don't pay nothing.
Too.
Yeah,
no,
but
not like not like that.
They don't care and they don't pay nothing. So he'll be making 500,000 pesos. That's it. Shit is gone. All the money in baseball is MLB and the Japanese league because Japan is huge.
I think the Japanese league is a part of the MLB too. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
They're huge. So he's and neither one of those leagues will touch him with a child against a child a charge because the thing is he wasn't found innocent. They just gave the mother 10 years and they gave him 2 years suspended sentence.
Wait, the mother of the child got years.
The mother got 10 years for trafficking.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. The mother knew about it, sold her daughter. You can look it up. They gave the mother 10 years. The mother didn't have no money. They gave him 2 years and it's suspended as long as he. This is the funny part about it. As long as he stay away from a minor for sexual relations. So it's not even saying he got to stay away from kids. He got to stay away from them for sexual relations. I'm like, this shit is crazy.
2 years suspended sentence.
Man.
Yeah. Wow.
And look at what the mother got.
Wow.
Look at what the mother got.
And the MLB is deliberating to find out the status of his.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's tough work. That's dirty work.
He's done. I mean, and he deserves it. I don't feel a lick of sympathy for him. I'll be honest with you, I'm mad he got that 2 years suspended. His ass should be thrown under the jail with 10 years with her. He was a grown ass man, 21, 22, fucking a 14-year-old.
Wow, they put the picture of the girl on. Oh, that's tough.
Oh, they put her picture up?
Yeah.
Let me see. Put it up. I had never seen her, or at least her face. I knew she was 14. I mean, if they put it up, they put it up. Let me see. Wait a minute.
Let me see if I can make it bigger.
Oh, wow. Is that his wife? That's his wife, though, right?
That little girl and his wife. This little girl right here.
I mean, I don't. Oh, shit. Okay. I guess the DR don't give a fuck about putting up minors. Yeah. That certainly do look like a little girl. Yeah.
Work.
That's the little girl he was sleeping with. That's 14. He was 21. Yeah. That's crazy.
She got kids
So
kids
that,
by She got kids by him or something like that?
No, she's 14. Well, I mean that only I know, but exactly. No.
We talking to DR.
I think he just had a sweet tooth for them young girls. And he set his eye on her. And that's the thing, like you said, when you counselor, passport bro counselor, these bros be going over there and it's like
some of them.
And y'all niggas talking about body count, where, be honest with you, that situation between him and her was not unusual. it only got big because he was in the MLB. If he wasn't in
Yeah,
the MLB, they wouldn't have spent 24 hours on that bullshit.
no, because I'm telling you exactly what happened. The parents they wanted money. Somebody found out about it and wanted, maybe the girl and the mom, they wanted to extort him for some money, and he said no, and they went to court. That happens a million times to them baseball players in Dominican Republic.
But
But I'm not absolving them from dealing with a minor.
They wouldn't have spent 24 hours on that case, but only because he was a Major League Baseball player. And the only reason why it got drug out then was because he was in MLB. If he was in the Dominican Baseball League, it would have never hit the news. But it was two things. He was in MLB, he was in Tampa, and he was a fucking superstar. He was like the next Alex Rodriguez type motherfucker. So once that happened, it's like, how was MLB going to say that a major league superstar is fucking children? Because she was 14. She wouldn't, if they had said 17, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe 18, it might not have been as bad, but she was 14. Bro. You see what I'm saying? That's
Does
at
he look?
the beginning of teenage years.
Does he look guilty?
Who, him? Hell yeah, that nigga guilty.
Does he look
guilty as
hell? Oh man.
And everybody seemed to think like, oh, well, I'm like, man, we don't give a fuck about no Dominican justice. We already know this a joke. We know it's a joke. So, and people talked about, I'm like, yeah, MLB before he went to court in the DR, they had already had evidence that he had did it. So they knew he did it. So it was just like, okay, it's a done deal. He did it. Boom, 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 boom. They were just waiting to see what the Dominican legal system would do. Now they know, okay, they gave him a slap on the wrist. They did the little bullshit. Okay, boom. So now it's like, what are we going to do? We're not letting him back in baseball. We can't. Because here's the thing, BLB, like I was telling somebody the other day, I was like, Michael Vick was fighting dogs. All he did was fighting dogs. You know how hard it was for him to get back in football? Fighting dogs? Like, nah. I said, and then they had I said, if you want to go one closer, you had the white boy. What was the white boy, the pitcher name for the Dodgers? He ain't been back in baseball because the chick said that he did something. Trevor Bauer. That's his name. Look up Trevor Bauer. He ain't been back in baseball. So it's like, ain't no fucking way Wanda Franco coming back. And he fucked a child? I said, one was with dogs and one was with a grown-ass woman. Okay. The one with dogs barely got back, only for a year or two. And then the one with a grown-ass woman never got back. And you mean to tell me somebody that fucked a child, there's no doubt that he fucked the child, is going to get back? Y'all are crazy. Absolutely not in America. I said, I don't know where, but not in America. No. And I don't think we should let him back. So, that's just what that is. As far as your boy Frico Miko, I don't know. So tell me this, BLB.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Miko, so I know you saw my man Jay and Mayor. What did you think about it?
I didn't see it.
Oh my God! Come on, counselor.
I seen it come up, but I didn't watch it. Not yet. I'm gonna watch it.
Oh my God! It's like I said, I never met Mayor. This is the one thing that I wonder, right? So I don't even know if he's still in the DR. He was talking about leaving and stuff, whatever, and he was going back and forth with his way. Now his situation is different than Jay and everybody else's. Not everybody else, but his situation is different than Jay because obviously, like I said, thankfully for Jay, he didn't leave his seed nowhere. I think Mayor got asked Jay. I know the way he described in the interview, he got one or two or I don't know how many fucking kids there. So he got several, and a lot of it was revolving around him and his kids. So that's another thing, like you said, when we talk about in these spaces, right, counselor, when you were sitting there talking about the defense of these women, I'm like, okay, now what happens when you procreate and you think things are going to be different or better? And so far, from all the experience I've seen, from the three people I'm aware of that have procreated and have had children there, it's been as bad, if not worse, than in the States. I heard with Taylor May, now Mayor, and I heard Flip talk about it a little bit. I was like, I haven't heard a single story where it's better than it is in the States with procreating. They
It's
all,
cheaper. It's cheaper.
yeah, maybe depending. I think maybe depending, but then cheaper, I would agree. But I would also say, and you got one over there? Yours is in the States.
Mhm.
Okay, all right, cool.
Not that I know of.
Okay. Because what I will say is it yes, I believe it would be a cost savings, but for me being a father, the cost savings might be a benefit, but the lack of rights is what would bother me. And I think that that's what the three of them are finding out is that they don't have the same rights as a non-Dominican parent as the Dominican parent has. So if they don't want you to fucking see him, you ain't gonna see him.
But you do, as an American citizen, and you may know this better than me. I don't know. So if you guys know this better than me, if the child is having any difficulty or any dangerous situations, the United States will help you get your kid up out of there.
I don't know. That I don't know because I've never had an international child. And that was my thing was like for me more so than anything else is what I do. Yes, the US, they bust your ass financially, but I know that like, hey, if I up and decide I want to go and I want to file for visitation or partial custody or something like that of my kid, I got equal footing in the States. I hear these Negroes talk about this shit, whether it's in the Philippines, Colombia, wherever, and it's like you don't get none of that. And I'm like, oh my God. I tell a nigga strap up. Fuck that shit.
That's the best way.
Don't have no kid with a motherfucker over there and you don't have no say. Because that's a lifetime commitment. But you know, niggas be sitting there telling you, oh, it's only $100 a month. I'm like, yeah, but you don't get to see your fucking kid.
That's another thing. Yeah, man, I can't argue. This case, I can't argue anything about that because it's. I can see how it can happen, but you know what I mean. You just got to know who you're dealing with. You got to know who you're dealing with. But some of these women, man, with postpartum and all this, they change after a baby, man. Who you thought was cool might be different when the baby comes. So just got to be careful, man. Let me ask you this. Where do you think the space goes to after this? Or is it already done? The space is done. The travel space is done. Because I got some ideas. I think we should do more group events. I think we should record those group events with guys building and enjoying themselves. And,
To be honest with you, I think the space is cooked for what it's done. You know, for all the and here it is. At the end of the day, is um during the pandemic, it was salacious. I think the travel space blew up big because during the pandemic, people were locked in, and the travel space had everybody's attention because it was like while everybody else was at home and locked in, these niggas was outside and they was traveling, right? So they commanded the space, and you didn't have to have any content. You could be as goofy as you fucking wanted to be. People were going to watch anyway. Now that we're out of that post-pandemic space, now people are choosing to say, okay, I want to watch quality content. I think the travel space has died because they never had any talent in the first place, right? So if you never had any talent, right? So they were growing with no talent, and they thought that, oh, I'm outside. That's all they want to see. Yes, then, but now they outside too. So people that's outside want to see more from people that's outside. When I was inside, I was just happy to see anything outside. That's not good enough. That's why I think the space is dying because the space was um, oversaturated with people who thought being outside was enough. So I think it's going to. I think it won't die completely. I just think it's going to obviously filter down to a few, even with Austin. That's why you see him doing his chat GBT politics shit because he realized just being outside is not enough. It's just not good enough.
I
So
think the Brazil thing changed him. Like getting that smoke from Brazil really changed his motion.
yeah, but I think most of the superficial content creators will die off because just being outside is not good enough. Because here now, all of a sudden, all of your subs then got outside too.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you going to show them outside that they haven't seen? And when you can't produce, they're just gonna fall off watching. And I think that that's what he's seeing, and he's struggling. So that's why he's into the I'm into the geopolitics and shit, trying to, because that's a niche that's
Trying to sound smart, but he ain't. Yeah, he's the you ever seen them niggas in the hood that be talking with big words and just stupid as
Yeah,
hell? Yeah, that's
and
him.
he's just not smart enough. He never was. He relied on I'm outside, I show girls. That's just not enough anymore.
He
We're
should put
out
his
of
mama
the
up on this channel. More of his mama, like in her thong bikinis that she be on.
but we're outside of the pandemic. That's not going to be enough to eat off of. And ultimately, he doesn't have most 90% of them don't have any talent. They caught a viral moment, they caught a lick. Um, there's a small percentage of them. Austin's not one of them. Future's not on it. In the travel space, the only ones I'm interested to see how Ace and Check do. Check is struggling. Ace, I think he kind of sees the handwriting on the wall and he's trying to figure out how do I pivot. And I've always said this and I'll stick to it and I'll say it again. The mistake, especially in the Black YouTube space, is to believe that we could stay ethnic. I'm like, that's not going to work. If you can't broaden your audience outside of your ethnicity, you're fucked. Just Black YouTube travel, not enough. It's not enough.
Why you say that?
Because first of all, Black travelers is pretty much a new phenomenon. That's probably Black international travel in the Black community is at best 10%.
That's a small percentage. That's a fact.
At best 10%. So 90% of Black people, they ain't traveling nowhere fucking internationally. You look if niggas travel domestically, they ain't traveling internationally. So internationally, you don't have an audience strictly to your ethnicity. Now you can have a bigger audience if you say, okay, I'm talking to white people, I'm talking to Asian people, I'm talking to women, I'm talking to this. You have a bigger audience. But if you say, oh, I'm only talking to this group, and then you're fighting for the same audience that everybody else is fighting for, it just, and again, like I said, during the pandemic, nobody was outside. So what did you have to do? Just go outside. Now, post pandemic, you got to do something other than go outside.
So what is there left to do? Everybody have seen damn near everything. What else is there to do? What do people
Well,
want?
you have to create something of interest other than I'm going outside. So your interest, you need to, which they don't do. I'm gonna tell you one thing they don't do is they don't cultivate relationships. So okay, so you say, okay, pick a country. Just pick any country.
Uh, India.
Okay. I'm a black man in India. Let me cultivate relationships in it. What black content creator you see in India cultivating relationships with Indian people?
There's an African cat that's doing it. That went there and did some things. Yeah, it's a small
That's
amount.
it. And I am Mara, he be over there on some goofy shit, right? I am Mara. Remember him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he be on some goofy shit, right? But I would sit there and say that, but African American male, who? The closest to we can think of is, again, Czech don't even go. Czech is scared about going certain places.
Nah, I know personally what Czech situation is, and it's
Okay,
not.
well, I don't know a situation. I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah. Not a lot of people know.
I ain't seen that nigga in India.
Yeah, he's gonna go.
I ain't
He'll be
seen
out there.
Ace. Listen, I ain't seen Ace ass in India either. But guess what? My black ass ain't going to India either.
I'll
But
go. I want to see them dirty ass meals they make.
right. But what I'm sitting there saying is that even when you decide to go there, you're going to have to, if you think you're going to make a difference, you're going to have to engage and indulge with those people. Other than that, what's the point in you going? I like Chet, but even when I see him, here's the funny thing about it, right? BLB. I watch his content in Europe. It's very surface level. I'm like, I could see him in Poland, right? Oh yeah, I met some Polish people. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, well, go to their fucking house. Ingratiate yourself to the culture. If you say you're getting into the culture, have them invite you to their house. See, because what I realize about a lot of them, even Ace does this. You're comfortable with engaging with people who look like you. What about the people who don't?
Well, that was my criticism with Ace, because he rarely collabs with black creators, right?
No. Yeah, he's
You know what I
he's,
mean?
he's very standoffish.
Oh yeah. I've heard how he acted in Colombia was enough for me.
Yeah.
And then I'm team Czech, so that's my guy.
Mhm.
So I'm if my look, I'm this type. This is the type of friend I'm in. If you wrong, you wrong.
Right.
But if you right, you right. And I do have a bias when you wrong though. But I'm gonna tell you wrong. But
Okay.
situations between Ace and Czech, like Ace is a fool. Like Ace did some things to some people I know that was just like I didn't respect it.
Okay.
And so his space, he needs to go to Africa. We'd like to see him go to Africa. People have been
Ace,
telling him to go. He's Haitian. People been telling him to go to Haiti for a long time.
for the longest time, it was funny. I didn't know until Troy told me. I didn't know none of them niggas was Haitian. I
Yeah.
didn't. I was like, what? I was like,
You can't tell by the way he talked.
I didn't know. I didn't know
One of-
Caleb. K was. I didn't know
Yeah.
Cece was.
They got an accent.
Jack
They got that
was. I
Caribbean
didn't know
Haitian
this.
accent.
The only thing that made it register to me was when I realized, I was like, oh, all them niggas is from Miami. That's when I knew, because I knew Check said he was from Miami. I knew Ace said it was from Miami. But I was like, I mean, I don't be around a ton of Haitians outside the DR. So I ain't got nothing against them. It's like I just don't be around a bunch of Zoes. So I don't pick up on their
Be
language or
careful.
mannerisms.
Not every Haitian person's is old. That's a specific crowd of people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You got
See,
you'll do your homework on. I know Rico's gonna do his homework on it.
yeah. So I didn't know. I didn't know. So for me, it's hard for me to pick up on their mannerisms to know like who's Haitian and who's not. But then when I found out about it, because I'm a man trust, like, oh, she said this, and I didn't know the guy I told you we was making fun of that was crying. I didn't know Philly Dom was because he called himself Philly Dom. So I was like, so it's funny because like people say it's like they do a lot of identifiers, not anti-Haitian, but to make themselves seem not Haitian. So like Philly Dom, like why the fuck he call himself Philly Dom? So when I hear Philly Dom, I'm thinking Philadelphia, which is where he's from.
Right.
But why did you and completely, which I don't think you have to, but in the second breath is like, oh yeah, he don't want to know, people know that he's Haitian. And you don't and when you hear about all the shit that's going on the island, you don't hear them saying nothing on behalf of them.
Yeah.
In the troubles.
That was my criticism, yeah. Because they didn't go over there. They didn't go over there during the time when people was getting rounded up. They never said anything.
Right.
Or they didn't go.
And I'm like, I'm Black American, and I say more shit about them, and you motherfuckers don't say nothing, right? Mm-hmm. So none of them, and the same thing with Chat. I'm like, okay, he ain't never said, not that I don't see any evidence where he said anything. I don't see any evidence where Ace ever said anything. I don't see any evidence where Philly ever said. All you motherfuckers been in the DR, but I ain't never seen no evidence where none of you niggas said nothing in defense of Haitian. I ain't saying you got to, but don't come to me with that Zoe shit or Haitian shit later on. Cause y'all ain't riding with them when they. The only motherfucker I seen said anything about Haiti is Finger. And they locked his black ass up.
Is he locked up? I didn't know he was
locked up. That's what they tell me. I don't know.
I haven't seen him or heard anything.
I don't know. But that's what I'm sitting there saying, right? So, for me, I was like, damn, they all Haitian? And then I didn't know, and we told me Kalo K. I said, oh yeah, okay, that nigga do look Haitian. I just fucked with him, but again, he pissed me off when he hit me with the Heisman and shit. I was like, man, fuck that nigga. You know what I'm saying? When he did that bullshit, fuck him.
Oh man. Rico.
Yes, sir.
We are almost 3 hours in.
Yep.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
It's more Diddy questions though.
Oh, what you got?
This thing about coercion, how is me holding, because you can apply this overseas too, because guys hold up, send money to these women and stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. How money coercion? How does a court of law argue that coercion because I'm paying your bills or I'm making you do something for the money? That's my last question on the Diddy thing. That was on my notes.
Coercion is a funny thing. It's like, so you sit there and say, and the first thing you want to say is, I didn't make them do nothing, right? But if you hold something over someone's head, that's a form of coercion. So I can't make you do nothing, but if I say I'm going to give you a job, and then you say, well, I'm not going to do, I'm gonna give you a job, Rika. I say, BLB, I'm gonna give you a job, but I want you to go smack this motherfucker down the street. Well, I don't want to do it. Well, I'm not gonna give you the job unless you do it. That's a form of coercion. So, in other words, it's sort of the quid pro quo thing. It's sort of like coercion, quid pro quo. Like, I'm gonna do something for you if you do something for me, but the coercion is the threat of I'm going to take something from you that you value unless you do something that I want. So that's sort of like thing like, okay, you riding around in the Jaguar. It ain't yours yet, it ain't paid for. The coercion is the threat of me taking that from you, this car that you've expressed a love and affinity for, and I say I'm going to threaten to take this away from you unless you do an act that I want you to do. That's so you can look up the definition of coercion and then read it out loud so that we can all see what the black and white definition. But from my belief, that's what coercion is the threat of something being taken from someone for them not doing something.
The practice of persuading somebody to do something using force or threats.
There you go.
But if I'm paying your rent,
The threat of taking it away.
if I'm paying your rent, right?
Right. So
I'm not
paying
obligated to do that.
But listen, paying your rent is not the coercion. The threat of me not paying it anymore. The threat is the coercion. The paying it isn't. The threat of I'm going to stop this or else. That's the coercion. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's where they get your ass.
Okay. All right. Then we'll leave that subject alone because I disagree how they're using coercion in this.
Sure, of course you do, right? Of course you disagree, and I understand why. And most people who get caught up in that shit always disagree because the first thing they say is, "I ain't make them do nothing." I'm like, "Yeah,
you have a choice. You take it or you don't."
But you didn't by force. You did by threat. You didn't by force. So I can walk up to you and I can punch you and make you do something, right? I go up to you, BLB, fucking do what I say, and I punch you and I make you do it, right? Or I can walk up to you and I can say, do it, or I'm gonna punch you. And then you do it. One is by force. When I hit your ass, I made you do it. One is by coercion because I threatened to hit your ass, and you knew what it was like last time, and you was like, I don't want to get hit by Rico again, so I'm gonna do it. So it'd be like, well, why did he do it? I didn't, and I'll sit there and say, well, I didn't make him do it because I didn't hit him. But you're gonna say, but he threatened to hit me. So they're gonna say that was coercion. Rico, you know he was scared of you hitting him. Why? Because you hit him last time. You hit him last time and you made him do it. So when you walked up to him this time and you threatened to hit his ass again, he did it. So did you hit him the second time and make him do it? No. But you threatened to hit his ass, and that was coercion. He did it because he didn't want to get hit again. He did it for fear of. That's all it is. Okay. That's all it is. Do I got to beat your ass again? You know what I'm saying? Oh, so I'm going to have to beat your ass again? No, I'll do it. Okay, that's coercion. That's it.
I got you.
You don't want to get beat again. That's coercion. That's all it is.
All right. But this wasn't that. But,
okay. Okay, Diddler.
That being fair, Rico, we're gonna get up out of here. You got anything to say to the community I need you to tell these people, man. Tell them what to do. Tell these people what content they need to be putting out, man. Let these people know.
The bottom line is, at the end of the day, is there's a ton of, like I said, everybody's outside. There's a ton of good content out there. Again, I rocks with pretty much most people that's trying to put out content of, again, like I said, I ain't telling nobody you got to put no diddly shit or no super high more. Just stop putting out trash. Just stop putting out trash. It's not that hard. Again, please, anybody of color, don't celebrate the diddler. Celebrate him being free. What I don't want anybody to do is, I don't want anybody to walk away thinking that this is the norm, and that any other young men of color that you're going to get the same break. It's just not. We're black people in America. Stop. Don't even fool yourself into believing it's a new day and they're gonna start treating us the same. This is one case, one person, one day. That's it. We celebrate this shit. We go back to being black tomorrow. All right. And I only say that because I want us to protect ourselves from our own decisions, our own choices, our own mistakes. And I hope none of you guys get caught up in anything, but move accordingly. And as far as the travel community, travel. I want black men. I want us to travel to every inch on this earth. I want us to go to Asia, to Africa, to South America, North America, Antarctica. I want us to go everywhere, but I want us to travel smart, safely, respectfully, and come back home, go out, see, indulge, enjoy yourself. Not gonna say spread your seed, but travel responsibly. And with that, I don't have anything else to say. But it's always great with you, brother. I love coming up here, chopping it up with you. We kick this shit, and hopefully we drop something for people to sit there and listen to and enjoy.
Shout out to this guy. This guy right here. He's probably closing in on the most countries as a black person. I think the only one I know that traveled to more countries is Drew Bensky. But I think he should be closing in on probably touching every country. I met him in Bogota.
Look at the places he's going. You see what I'm saying?
Look at his thumbnails.
Yeah, it's him. It's him. And look at the places he's going.
Yeah. I need people to sub up to this man's channel because he's showing people. He was in Iran. He was everywhere, man. This dude's been everywhere almost.
The places he's going, that tells you everything you need to know.
Africa.
Yeah. And the thumbnails is him.
Him in these streets.
It's him.
Shout out to Sly.
It's him. So yeah. Everybody, I'm gonna hit Sly's life. This is what I'm talking about.
100. He should be at almost.
Man, he should be at 1 million.
Yeah, probably should.
He should be at 1 million. This is, if your passport, bro. This is a real passport, bro. This is a real passport, bro. This is a real passport, brother.
Damn, he touched every country, and let me see if he there's one that people don't really go to is Bolivia.
I can guarantee you this. He's touched every fucking continent.
Let's see if this was boy.
He's been there. It's at the top. Nope, that's not him. There he is, right there. Up right there. Slice life, yeah. Right there.
That's Lima.
Okay.
I don't think he did Bolivia. Bolivia's kind of tough though. Bolivia's kind of tough from what I've heard.
Okay.
Depending on where you go, but shit, if you're in Peru, you might as well just stop over in Bolivia.
But the fact of the matter is this is a passport, bro. You can't talk to me about being a passport. And again, I'm not taking nothing from the other guys. I'm like, just say you're a passport bro for a particular reason. If you're only going to them top 5, then you're a passport bro for a particular reason. This guy is a passport bro who takes his passport. And I'm seeing, the funny thing about it is I've seen a couple of sisters. But I know this one sister they were talking about, and she was scamming, but she was traveling and going everywhere. I forgot her name. So
Jesus,
I'm like,
this
you know,
man
go
been
figure.
everywhere, Rico. This man
I
been
know.
everywhere.
He's been everywhere.
Jesus Christ.
And who's on the thumbnail?
It's him. It's him. Y'all sub up to this man's channel, man. Sly's
Yeah.
Life. Rico's about to start a channel. It's called In These Streets with Rico.
In these streets. In these streets.
In these streets. Yo, Rico, thank you, man. I hope to have you again, bro. Thank you for coming
Come
through.
on, brother. All the time. All the time. This was good. This was good. Hopefully, everybody ran around being giddy and silly about the Diddler. Hopefully they'll. I hope people will sit there and listen and just hear us break down and talk about a little bit about the case, because I just don't want people to get too excited about it and then walk away with the wrong message and think that, oh, I can do what the fuck I want to do. I can do what Diddy did. I'm like, no, bro, don't do that.
Nah,
Don't
I
do
wouldn't
that.
recommend it either.
Yeah.
Look, leave these women alone and be very careful about flying somebody in, because I'm just waiting for all the shoes to drop. And part of the reason why I wanted to touch this topic, Rico, is because there's information in it about this traveling across lines and bringing, like, this is something that people don't really know. A lot of people don't really know that you can go to jail for just something so innocent. She wanted to come, you wanted her to come, she came, that it didn't go well, she flew back home, and now she's bringing charges on you. That could happen.
And I think me, you, and Money, we're gonna have to settle the bet on the sentencing. That's what
Let's
we're
do
waiting
it.
for. Remember now, you talking that he going home.
Let's do it.
Me and Money said, I say 8 to 10. Money say 10. Now, if it leans closer to us, goddamn it, you owe us some brown liquor.
I got you, but you ain't gonna drink it. You're white liquor drinking ass. You ain't gonna drink it.
I'll think about it. But the fact of the matter is that I'm. That's what I'm very interested in now. Is that now that we all know what what he was found guilty of, what the exact charge is, what the sentence is going to be. That's the next big thing. And that may not come for another month or two.
They're trying to get it within a week or 2 weeks. But let's do this, Rico. Yeah, the sentence. The prosecution is trying to speed it up. I'll make a bet with you here on live.
Okay.
If he gets
what me and Money says,
if he gets less than 5 years,
okay,
right?
I owe you your brown of choice.
No. I'm gonna do this. This is gonna be live, and you gotta do it.
Okay.
We buy a bottle of whatever we drink. We open it right in front of everybody. 5 straight shots. 5 straight shots. Back to back, Rico.
If he gets what?
If he gets less than 5 years, I win. You gotta take 5 shots.
Okay.
If he get more than 5 years, I gotta take 5 straight shots on live.
That'll work.
Straight shots of a real bottle. So you gotta actually peel the label off, all that right in front of everybody. Pour it on the camera. Bam. 5 of them. You with it?
I'm with it.
Oh man, we're gonna have Uncle Rico lit, boy.
Look. Reach out to Money. Tell his ass he gotta be on this.
I don't think Money drink. I think he don't drink. I don't think so. I'm gonna ask him.
Okay. If he does, tell him he got to.
10 years. Oh, 10 years is a stretch.
So you're saying 5 or less. I'm saying
I'm gonna say 3 years. I'm gonna say he's gonna get 3 years.
Okay, and I'm saying Because I'm not saying 10, but I'm be honest with you, I'm gonna say
That's 5
7.
to 8, right? So
I'm gonna
7.
say 7 to 10.
All right. So
Yeah,
you'll get 5. I'll give you between 5 and 10 to play with, right? Anything
yeah,
between 5 and 10, you
yeah,
cool. Even if it's like 5.5, you still win.
yeah.
Anything under 5, I win.
Then
Shots
you win.
up.
Yes,
All right.
I'll do
Rico,
it.
don't get no bottle of liquor with 30% alcohol.
I'm gonna let you pick what I got to get.
Oh, 151 Bacardi. Let's do it. Don't let me pick, because I'll get you some whiskey that's like at 125 proof, bro. We don't do that. You can't put cucumbers in that. It'll disintegrate your cucumbers, family.
But for sure.
All right. So the deal's on the table. We got 2 bets on the table.
Yes.
We got the bet for the sentencing, and then we got the bet if Travelversity can make videos without Lucky on the thumbnail and still get. You said 5,000 views. I'm gonna say over 10K.
He ain't
I'm gonna
getting
say
no
over 10K
because
the first video he releases is gonna do 10K. Even
maybe the first one they're gonna be looking for Lucky.
Yeah, they'll be looking for Lucky.
But halfway through, when they realize she ain't in it, they'll be like, man, fuck this shit.
Let's see if he can do it. That's the challenge. I need the subs. I need everybody that subbed up. Somebody that's not a content creator, the people, the fans. I need y'all people to chat. I need y'all to go in, spam him up. I'm going to send him a message through somebody. Be like, yo, 10 videos without Lucky. Let's see if you can do it and see what the views.
He can't do it, and he know he can't do it.
He don't want me. He don't want to lose that money. But it's a challenge. Let's see if he can do it. Let's see if he's really. I mean, there's some pride in it. There's some pride in it.
I'm dying to see it.
Might have to have you back channel and call your boy BMT. Yo, tell him, yo, put the beef down, bro. We doing some contests here. You know what I'm saying?
I subscribe to the app.
Yo, that's how you get them. Yo, I subscribe to the app. I don't know how it works. By the way,
no shit.
Yo, if you have not subscribed to the travel, what is it called? Passport Bro app?
I call it Nigga Tender.
Nigga Tender. Make sure you download that app. And what the information you gonna get from the app, brother?
Nothing. Nothing. Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing.
The research and development team is mad as hell at Rico right now, bro. They put their work in. Rico exposes the travel app. That's messed up.
What you gonna get? Not a goddamn thing.
That's tough, man. You'll get a couple putas, complimentary putas.
That's it. I died laughing. He did the video on the brother. He did the video on the brother. The nigga was from Maryland, but then was down in Miami, who had the Dominican wife and chased her and shit. He was like, oh, I don't know how he found her. I'm like, he found that bitch on your app. That's how he found her.
You talking about the dude who went missing?
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, we were supposed to talk about that guy that went missing. That was crazy.
Man, that was
shit. What, Rico, quickly, what happened? What had happened? What's the whole thing?
Brother, but first of all, the nigga used to live up here like 10 minutes from me in Beltsville, Maryland. So it looks like he's super simp.
He's not even American, is he?
No, I don't think he is. Cause I think the nigga's a tether. Cause I only know that because ain't nobody seen or talked to him, but his daddy was on the news, and I was like, that nigga Caribbean. That nigga daddy from Trinidad, Tobago, some shit like that. Yeah. He ain't fucking the FBA. Fuck that bullshit. He's not like us. Nah. But he's simped out, and he had been going back and forth to DR, and he had been going back and forth to Santo Domingo. So somewhere along the line, probably fucking around on BMT app. He caught him a choppy off a BMT app, right? Fucking around with that Passport Bro app, right?
Yeah, that's foul.
I swear. So BMT like she's a keeper. She's a keeper, right?
Oh man, yo, BMT, I
Tether,
don't got nothing to do with this, bro.
Tethers, fucking with Tethers on that Tether app, right? And the nigga got lined up. He got lined up. So
It
then
sounds like it.
he decided, oh, I love you. I'm gonna wife you up. He got her a fucking visa. She got the visa, so he bring her ass back to the States. And you know, of course, she come back to the States. You know, she doing the Washington Heights special. So she probably already talking to her people up in New York from the get-go, right? So he figured, oh, we gonna homestead in Miami. That motherfucker went to work one time too many. He came back home. She done cleaned the motherfucker out.
So wait, did she take all his stuff? Everything.
She took everything. The
all her
apartment,
stuff or all his stuff?
everything. So
Wow.
according to the father, cleaned out the apartment and she was gone. So
Rico,
now
she got a business. If she can move that quickly or that much stuff, she could do business here in the States. She can open up a business.
She probably already had the simp lined up. You know, they had you lined up before you even come. So she was probably already talking to motherfucking Poppy in Washington Heights. Look, this simp get ready to bring me over. Boom, 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 boom. Right? So when the time was right, they peeled out. He come home, empty joint. So he loves sick, heart broke, all fucked up. So he done cried to his father. Oh, I can't believe she left me, and after I did all this, all that bullshit, right? Because that's what he did. You know, that's that tether crying, right? So then he tell his daddy, I'm going to the DR to talk to her family to see if they could talk her into coming back. Like, what?
Yeah.
So then when he went over there, that's when he went missing for 2 weeks. So the daddy put the shit all out on the news because he didn't know where his little baby simp was. He didn't know what little simp was.
Oh,
so
man.
when he put that shit went all worldwide. And then eventually they found this little simp ass somewhere. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, man, fuck that motherfucker. Fuck him. But
if
again,
only he subscribed to my channel, he would have had that information.
We'd have told him point blank. When she left, fuck her. She for the streets.
She should have went to jail. And guys, I just want y'all to be aware that Dominican Republic does have an extradition treaty with the United States. So that is a crime that she committed by stealing his stuff in his house. He could have had her extradited back here and facing some charges.
But that's that whole they better than the ones back here. All these things, see what I'm saying? Because guess what? He brought one from the motherland, brought her all the way to Miami, and she lined that nigga up.
Oh man.
You see what I'm saying? Man. So I'm like, that's a passport, bro. The whole community gotta take that.
He said, did the app have that information of how to maneuver when that happened to you?
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
That $39.99 didn't get you a lot, did it?
It didn't.
Oh man!
Right? So he can't even get his $39.99 back.
Diabolical.
All this shit. So that's the whole fucking point. Is it's like the whole community got to take that L because I sat there and said, and they all sitting there trying to say, well, how you gonna look? Then the motherfucker BMT talking about, no. I'll tell you a story even better. You missed it. You ain't see the story about the niggas down in Colombia fighting?
No, when this happened?
Oh my God. Go to the brother Colombian Guide. And go to the Andrew show. Go to the Andrew show. He did a video because somebody showed these niggas was down in Medellin fighting over motherfucking chicas.
It's the Andrew show or the Andrew
Andrew show is one word, like the Andrew show. And the niggas was fighting over some chicas. And he did a reaction to it. And niggas is trying to say like, oh, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, nah, Y'all got to take that L too. Let me see. I'll tell you. Exactly. Let's see. Hopefully this nigga didn't put it on.
Oh, Royal Rumble, right? Is that what it is? Is this it right here? I'm gonna show you. Show you what I found. He's black, right? Is that it?
Yeah, that's him. Okay, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. That video there. Yeah, that video there.
Blood Atlas. Now, me personally, man, right now we're in some crazy times, bro. World and shit. So it's gonna give you some key information. Yellow means like I think it means sure thing or something like that. But some other think this is gonna happen.
Yeah, it's at that point right there.
Hell of a crazy shit going on, man. And
there it is. Back it up a little bit because the police there now.
Not allowed to video record chicas anymore. And if you do record them, you have to have their faces blurred, or else there's gonna be consequences and repercussions.
Or maybe I don't know.
What do you guys think this is gonna happen to the travel space? I mean, do you think this is gonna happen in other countries too? These little sanction rules that's coming out. I mean, if they did it out there in Thailand, what makes you think they won't do it?
There it is. These passport bros fight
really travel heavy
over some cheap.
Oh man, I didn't know that happened, bro.
That was like a week or two ago.
Jesus.
In Medellin, yeah. So I don't know where Parque Yeras or wherever, whatever. So I'm like, no.
That looks like Parque Yeras. That looks exactly like Parque Yeras.
Yeah. This is what happened when you let these niggas outside.
you let these ninjas off the app. That's what happens when they get off the app, bro. They fueled up and going crazy off the app.
And that's what I'm sitting there saying is like I don't see you know, I want to be wrong. I do. But it's like, you know, what my man say in The Godfather. I keep trying to get out and they keep pulling me in.
They keep pulling me back in. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Right. It's like, come on now. So so you got that, you know, you know, you got the simp. You got that. It's like, come on. And then, you know, I know, like recently, I saw, I know, you know, I'm gonna mention this last content creator, the dude, sorry, in Colombia is You heard the young cat, and I kind of liked him, but he's gotten a little weird. Hey,
you got a cramp? Rico got a cramp?
Yeah, Charlie horse.
Drinking that white liquor, I'm telling you, brown liquor don't do it to you.
Shit. Woo. Oh shit. Fuck you.
That's what you need. Brown liquor got electrolytes in it. Hey, Rico man down over there. Hey, yo. Oh man, live in effect, boy.
Fuck you.
You gotta. Rico had to take a knee. Hey, Rick. Hey, hey. You need me to call the? You need me to call? You want me to send the ambulance over there? You good?
Oh, fuck you.
Rico need to be airlifted, y'all. Get that man up out of there.
I said, shit. Motherfucker came out of nowhere. Like, what the fuck?
Oh man.
Snuck up on me. But nah, I was gonna say, what is it? That young brother, somebody was going at his head the other day. Homie's Hub.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's in Colombia. He's back. Because he was in Peru for a while. But I think he's back in Colombia. And I kind of like him off and on, but you know, he beefing with somebody, it's that whatever. But you know, you watch all of them. Their content is always, once again, and that's what kind of throws me off because, like I said, Zoe, who you know, I used to like him a lot, but I'm like, come on, Zoe, you 50 something years old, and if you keep doing this thirst trap and shit, you making these young boys, and I mean, I can't tell the difference. He's 25, you 55. Y'all both doing the same silly shit. And it's like, nigga, I know you would. I don't give a fuck what you get or who you get to spin around. I know she's a working girl, bro. Come on. Why are you out here trying to pretend like your ass is you pulling them like that? Yeah, you are pulling them like that because okay, we old niggas, we got money. Stop. Or be genuine and authentic about it. Because you know, ain't no bitch from Peru, and then you in the DR the next, and then you some every time you pop up, you there for 2 weeks. Nigga, you ain't got no authentic relationships with none of these motherfuckers. Why are you trying to pretend like in 2 weeks? Knock it off.
Okay.
It's 2 weeks. It's transactional. And you gone again. It's 2 weeks. You ain't got no authentic relationship in 2 weeks. 2 months, it's not authentic. 2 weeks, it certainly isn't. And I'm like, if it's been 2 weeks, you shouldn't be saying nothing. Even if it's 2 months, I still wouldn't say nothing. I ain't talking about a relationship with nobody nowhere until I've been 2 years in a relationship. And I mean, in deep and heavy. Because like you said, what did you tell me 20, 30 minutes ago? Oh, these motherfuckers change up on you. Ain't that what you told me?
Yeah.
Oh, they change on you. Well, what the fuck you think gonna happen in 2 weeks? Or 2 months? But you telling me she wifey. Huh? Nigga, 2 weeks ago you said she was wifey. Oh, she changed up. Man, get the fuck out of here. She wasn't wifey 2 weeks ago. It just don't work that way. But, you know, and that's all I'm just sitting there saying is, so when I look at some of these young boys doing some of the things, again, like I always tell you, BLB, I get offended because I look at my generation and I'm like, whether it's Zoom, whether it's Zoe, whether it's TaylorMade, Chocolate Man, I'm like, if we're 50 and above, we have a response. I'm not telling you what to say. I'm saying you have a responsibility to be authentic in a certain way. You got a responsibility not to be lying to these young folks. Like whatever. I'll just shut the fuck up. I won't say nothing. I ain't gonna lie to you. I tell motherfucker all the time, like, look, you know, because I tell my son, you come over here, hey, this play time. Nothing else. I don't give a fuck what they say. It's play. Play and take your black ass home. That's it. Anything else, I'm punching you in your motherfucking throat. It's play. Nothing else. And that's it. Not hard to understand that.
The man Rico told y'all boys it's playtime. Stop playing around here, man. Hey Rico.
Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate you as always. I
Always.
appreciate you, man. You have no idea. I think it was a great subject matter, man. And talking with you is always good subject matter. No fuckery. And I like having these conversations. I just wish more people would be able to tune in and see this to have, a different take on this travel space and different ideas. So that's what we're offering, just a different spin on it. Hopefully we'll be back on the road soon so we can have these conversations and then on a nice beach somewhere so I can make the chica stand up and twirl around for y'all.
For sure.
Hey. But till the next time, man, let's do it again, man. Let's do it again sometime soon. Whenever you're available, you let me know.
Happy White Zaddy Independence Day.
Oh man.
Because I'll be out of town this weekend.
Oh man.
So I know you how much you love White Zaddy. So happy White Zaddy Independence Day.
I love my country. I'm unapologetically in love with my country. I can't. I am patriotic, man.
And for everybody that's listening, I hope you keep safe, keep well, enjoy this Independence Day for America, whether you love it or support it or don't. Have a great fucking weekend.
Just enjoy it with your family. If you ain't celebrating that day, just take the day to enjoy your family and build and lock in. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And we'll pass on that message that he got 10 videos to make without Lucky.
Yes. And we'll see you on the other end. All right.
All right,
Good
fellas.
night,
Thank you. Good night, fellas.